And we are live. Let's go. Scoundrel family, happy Halloween and welcome to our Halloween episode of Three Scoundrels in a Cantina. I'm obviously your host, Old Man Logan 76, and with me, please everyone say hello to Fluffy, the crate beast from Creep Show. And if you haven't seen that movie, then you need to stop living out from underneath your rock. But again, I am only one small part of this great show that we all love to do. Also with me is Avant and Bob. What is happening, gentlemen? Happy Halloween! Let's go!
What up? What up? Thanks, buddy. Who's this mysterious guy? Oh shit! It's Avant.
What's up, everybody?
Anything else you got to say, Obi Avant Kenobi? How was your day?
No, later. I'm gonna pepper him in. Don't worry.
Right. He's got nothing to say. Look, Fluffy's like, no, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. But Bob, why don't you do us the honors and talk about our guest for this? Yeah, see, Fluffy's like, yeah, do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our very special guest, a good friend of mine, old friend, content creator for a long. How much you been? Anyways, we'll get to that. SwampGrass. Swamp, thank you so much for coming on, my friend. How's it going?
It's going great. My name is SwampGrass, guys. I've been content creator for almost 3 years. In February, it'll be 3 years. And you guys can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SwampGrass420. I'm there, like, no joke, almost every day, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And, it's kind of a loose schedule. Life does get in the way sometimes. Real life is a thing. And, I stream a lot. So you guys can find me out there streaming Swigga a lot.
and you play Strike Force too, right?
That's right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I play just the Cosmic Crucible. That's like the grand arena of Marvel Strike Force. So for me, that's the more exciting content. We do that right after the Swigga stream, maybe an hour and a half of that. And that's good times as well.
For sure, yep. I'm trying to get back into that. Mobile Gamer raided me the other day, so I thought that was pretty good.
Nice.
So that always
I've
good.
had a raid from him a couple times. It's like 300 plus viewers. Let's go.
Fucking love that guy, man. He's like a legend in my eyes. I love that guy, and he shows us
he's awesome.
Some love. But Swamp, it's great having you, my friend. So Swugga, what is your GP and how long have you been playing?
So, sort of been playing since the beginning of the game, but the account that I had back then, I don't have anymore. It was on my ex-girlfriend's device. At the time, I was playing a different hero collector that she wasn't a big fan of. She's like, try the Star Wars one. And then, I like it. I dare say. But I don't have that account anymore. But I don't have that account. But I have two accounts that I run. My main account is about 7.5, I want to say, and then my alt account recently, within the last few weeks, went from 4.9 million up to 6.2 million. So that was a big jump.
I wonder why that happened.
There weren't any packs that came out recently.
Yeah. It was a really weird light speed shift. I don't know.
No packs. No.
His GP increased at light speeds.
Yeah, indeed.
Right.
So did you already have the 2 GLs on your other account?
So on my main account, I had just at the end of last year into this year spent about 6 months farming those 2 characters. So that felt pretty cool to see that I could have instead bought it for a couple bucks.
Yeah, we discussed that too. Like it was all very positive, except for the people who had just got done grinding them.
Honestly, I feel still positive about it, but I just, there is a little bit of sting,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could have been doing that with JML or Jabba or whoever you didn't have. Yeah, I agree with that. I wish they could have gave you a heads up, but I get it. I get it.
So Swamp, what is your main your main account, the one that you do like that you really like your highest account? What does that look like? How many GLs do you have?
So currently I have Ray, SLKR, and JMK, and I'm working on Jabba, kind of getting somewhat close, doing the JKL journey stuff right now. That was probably my biggest hurdle, but I saved it for last because of the crate dragon. I was gonna do that first, but then because of the crate dragon, I'm like, okay, let's do the Hut Cartel and Jawa stuff like that first. So yeah.
And then in the same vein, how does that feel to know that that raid's going to be irrelevant soon?
Honestly, I don't care because I like what I did for that raid is I took my JKR squad higher, and that's been great. They're so much nicer now. It works better. Mandalorians, I brought them online with Maul and everything. I had them kind of sidelined, so now that's a great team to have.
I love that team.
And just a couple other things, so it's not that huge of a deal. And actually, I before my Rebels were kind of sitting at Gear 12 for ages, and so now I have them like CLS squad online working much better as well.
I guess it's good that.
But that's from the Jabba stuff.
I guess any kind of viability is nice, because there's still some characters that don't have any.
Yeah, the biggest thing I was like, at least I'm not going out of the way. I'm not building my Tusken team for that. I'm not. Yeah.
I do feel sorry for some idiots who have worked on their Jawas and Tuskens.
Guilty as charged.
Jawas seem like a very cool team, though. I remember when CG did that like speed JAC with the content creators versus the devs. That was a really fun event.
Yep.
And every single battle throughout that entire event involved the Utini bomb, and I thought that was pretty cool. So.
Yep.
I agree.
So.
Shout out to Escape Podcast. They got to host it too.
Oh, they did. That's right. The old Escape Podcast. So, in terms of news for this week, we did get some. We got a little bit. So there's a new bow Katan coming to the game. We know this. They're now focusing on Mandalorians. What the hell was the name of that new guy that came out? Somebody help me out here.
Oh, the Jedi.
Heller and Beck.
There we go.
You should know his name.
Oh, Paz Vizsla, right? Too.
No,
He's like the candy man for you.
Who's the originally? Who's coming to the game, Logan?
No.
Jar Jar's coming to the game, everybody. It's finally time.
No, he's not. You know what? I'm saving my pre-Halloween infamous Jar Jar rant for the end of the show because Jar Jar McGoats asked an amazing question, and I have a full description on how to answer it. So that's coming at the end.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the new Jedi, Kelleran Beck, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in Mando season 3. And spoiler alerts, if you haven't watched it yet and you're watching a Swugga podcast, then I'm sorry.
You've seen it.
Yeah. But he saves Grogu back in whenever what was the Jedi Purge or what are the
Order
66. There we go. What kind of fan am I?
You even play this game.
But anyways, he saved Grogu, and it's Ahmed Best who played Jar Jar. So, but he's coming to the game.
Yeah, the same actor is the actor who played this Jedi also played Jar Jar.
And it was a cool scene. I'm glad he got redeemed, because he was cool.
Have you guys ever seen like making the scenes footage of how they made Jar Jar? Like what he looked like?
Yeah, it was him with the head on top of his head.
It's reinstilled my faith of what I believe. Just made it even better. Just gave me more evidence. Not that I needed any more, but there it is.
There is a hilarious picture of young Padme, young Anakin, Anakin's mom, and the guy playing Jar Jar sitting at like a table eating dinner, and it's just like I don't know how these people kept a straight face talking to this guy. He has this like giant Jar Jar head on top of his head.
Like I wonder how the kid kept it together. Like Liam Neeson was a well-trained actor, so I'm sure he's like, all right, this is ridiculous, but I'm being paid a lot of money. I'll just do it. I don't know how the kid or the mom or everyone else even kept a straight face. Because that was just utterly ridiculous.
Crafting Way in the chat says, Jar Jar was awesome. There's nothing to redeem.
I'm not doing it till the end of the show. And you're baiting me. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Once again, I need you guys to come up with someone to bait Avant with. Barris Offee. I'll leave it there.
No, I'm not going to be baited.
It's always me and old man in the fucking Bad Batch.
I'm unfuckwithable. I said it before.
All right. So, anyways, bud.
It's actually a good question for you, Swamp. What team do you not have that you feel like you should, that people might give you shit for?
Lots, but Sith Empire.
Sith Empire.
yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah, on my main account, fully skipped it. On my alt, I did actually dive deep into the Sith just to make sure I had, got a chance to try everything out and all that stuff. So they're pretty good on my alt, but my main, I pretty much fully skipped it. I am gonna go back to it now that there's Leviathan, of course. So it's kind of.
Are they like Gear 1?
Yeah. Oh, except for Basilisk Fallen, because I did get Darth Revan unlock for Darkside Geo platoons back in the day.
Speaking of Sith Empire, I went up against just a regular old Sith Empire with a level 2 Datacron today in Grand Arena, and he stopped me 11 times, dead in my tracks. That stream was short. It did not last too long. I was pissed. But
That's rough.
Really?
so what's the next requirement up though? So what do we got going on?
So for for Bo-Katan, the news that came out, the requirements are the Mandalorian, Beskar armor at Relic 7. Now, I feel that's incredibly reasonable. I think Relic 7 is where you would want him because of his ship for Executor, so I think that's fair.
Agreed.
I like him. He's not a terrible. Everyone says he's terrible. He's not. He's not amazing. But he's a good.
He's fine.
He's fine. The thing is, it's his ship that I feel like you're getting more value out of than you are the tone.
You're not putting relic levels on Bando because you think he's going to just start taking down GLs with whistling birds. Like, let's have reasonable expectations.
It's called tickling birds.
They're not. I hate that. They don't tickle. Like, that's actually a good move. It
is
does,
all right.
It does true damage, and it can do 20 instances of true damage. That's pretty good.
Okay, but every time, the first time he does it, they just tickle you, correct? Because I've never seen the first time it just blow anyone away. The enemy team just goes, ugh. They just move forward and nothing changes. Or maybe that's
I think in the age of Datacrons, anybody that's going to hit you multiple times with true damage, you're gonna make some return off that investment. But I still think the main return of that investment is still through the Executor fleet. But he's not bad. He's not terrible. I mean, he'll do healing and inflict immunity on a tune for a turn. I mean, he's plug and play.
I would rather take him to R9 than Relic Rose Tico at all. So I'll take
Rose Tico is really good.
She's amazing Rancor food. Someone's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Honestly, I'm pretty tempted to put on the Omicron. Ever since Zori came out, I just love that squad, and Rose and Resistance Trooper together. Oh man.
Yeah, with
so good.
Rose, I've heard it can be nasty if she's modded well, and yeah, I heard it can be annoying
if she fights for what she loves.
Yeah.
You're not Rose Tico tonight. You're Bid.
Sorry, that was out of character.
So next we have Paz Vizsla at Relic 7. We kind of expected that.
And so what's the? I haven't really paid attention. What is the? How is the community liking Paz? Is he good? Is there much to tell yet?
He's from what I understand, he's durable as hell. He's gonna be a thick boy, and he can pump out some damage. So it's finally a tank that is gonna also add some offensive punch.
Okay, I didn't see much testing on him, and I guess he's just gonna go with Bo. I imagine.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be with a Mando team, 100%.
I can't wait to find out her kit. That'll be interesting.
So the next one we have is IG-12 and Grogu. Relic 7.
That was the top of my list. I knew it was gonna.
Yeah.
How
Well,
could you
this is
not?
this is obviously an upcoming marquee. We don't know anything about it. Don't know shit yet, but here we are. I mean, I think it makes sense. What do you guys think? I think that's a great choice.
As soon as I saw that in the show, I was like, "That's gonna be in Swugga as soon as they can," because it was just unique. It was one of the highlights of the show. What do you think, Swamp?
Yeah, I also thought that, especially because when they previously CG had said like we don't want to put Grogu in the game because beating up on a baby is not very marketable. But but now that Grogu has some sense of agency with the IG-12 vehicle, if you want to call it that, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And I'm. This will be the first time I play with the sound on, because they're gonna put the yes, yes, yes. If they don't, I'm never listening to the sound. They have
Like
to.
how funny would it be if he had two moves, two basic moves? Yes, 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 and no, no, no. Like that's all he
Yeah,
did.
that would be it.
I can see that happening for real. I mean,
That would be funny.
they're pretty clever with their kits and the names of the moves and everything. So I'm actually
Totally.
one thing I've always been impressed with is the kits and how they try to make it like the character is in real life, or not real life, but in Star Wars. So it'll be fun. I can't wait to see it.
So after that, we have, well, at least Bob's version of Jar Jar. Was it Kelleran Beck?
Now this is one we forgot to mention.
Killian's Red?
Yeah, Kellerian's Red 5 is what Meatbag
Yeah.
said.
Killian's Red at Relic 7, the best Jedi.
Well,
Yeah.
he's the best Jedi because he's best. His last name is Best. The actor's last name.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that meant? I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. No, that's what that meant. So it also says, as we previously mentioned, Bo-Katan Mandalore will unlock at 7 stars. So there is no need to hoard your GET currencies, GET currencies. Spend freely. So what do we make of that?
Someone else
Yeah,
go.
I mean, if they didn't do that, I feel like there would be a lot of outrage.
Yeah, a little bit.
I distinctly remember a few huge content creators blowing a gasket because they unlocked gas and didn't have enough GET1 to take him to 7 stars, and he was just pretty much useless.
Yep.
So
with that being said, so we now have the marquees. We know what to expect. I mean, now that they've released it, obviously they have to release the 2 other marquees, so we do have a little bit of time. But they did say in a post that, and I'm paraphrasing, but Bo-Katan with Omicrons is going to challenge GLs. So let's kind of go back in time a little bit in our time machine and kind of look at some of the things that CG has presented to us and gone, oh, it's going to work. And then it didn't. So the big question I have for the panel and for us to discuss is, should we trust CG? Is this something that people should? I mean, obviously the whales are going to go after it and then wait on other news and content creators to work out the kinks, and then they can figure out how to use it the best way. But should anybody even believe what CG is trying to sell right now? Because they don't. It doesn't seem like they test. So what do you got? Well, I mean, the floor is open.
who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
You know, you did say that was well timed, sir.
That was great.
Good parry, old man. That was that was well done.
I would have said that completely wrong. So props.
Don't worry, I looked up probably 20 to 25 Obi-Wan quotes that I'm going to try to put into the podcast here tonight.
Please
Nice.
do.
Swamp, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I've kind of been laughing about whatever the developer insights about kits for a long time. That's something I've always enjoyed on my stream every time we read the new kits, like let's see what CG thinks about this, and then we kind of laugh about it. So I don't know. I've never quite taken it seriously for a really long time. Ever since Ray came out and they were like recommending that it was going to go with GK, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. So they, you know, they have some interesting ideas about the way these characters are going to work for sure. That I find pretty funny.
What do you guys think?
Avant,
Yeah, I mean,
it's on you.
I'll believe it when I see it. and like, is she only going to rival some GLs with her Omicrons, or is she going to be like Riva, where she can beat most of the GLs with her Omicrons? I don't know.
I don't see why it can't just be a Star Killer level counter to maybe some that we can't counter yet, like LV or something. Because LV doesn't have a straight up counter, but he's been out for a long time. So why not?
Lord Vader actually has a lot of straight up counters.
Okay, Fennec Sean, but that's not on purpose. Fennec Sean, you can take another GL, but besides that, there's not that many.
Like, you're saying like an off meta counter, like not a GL.
Like an official, off meta. Like they make the officials. Like Star Killer is the official one for Ray. I guess Afra probably has one. I don't know. I don't have her. But and these ones are R7. If Star Killer can rival a GL at R5, then there's no reason these characters at R7 won't rival one either. So I mean, if it's bugged, I can see it doing one thing or another. But as far as their intentions, I can see it happening. I mean, if Star Killer can do it, there's no reason why these higher staked, higher relic characters can't.
Well, I think the other thing we all have to keep in mind is we're talking about kit interaction. So we're talking about 8 different GLs, and what is Bo-Katan going to bring to the table? So I think it's important to listen to the language of what CG is saying, is that it will. And again, paraphrasing, but it will compete with GLs. So to me, when it says GLs, it's very broad. There could be a couple GLs that it works very well with, and then there's probably going to be some GLs that you're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that ever again. So again, we're not going to know anything until the kit, but if it's going to rival GLs, this is a 2 or 3 Omicron tune, easy. Thoughts?
It's always going to be 3. Any character like this has been 3.
Yeah, I feel like they left it a little bit vague, right? So, like, okay, let's say Sith Eternal Emperor has a hard time killing it, then technically it's challenging a GL, right?
Right.
So,
right. Or if it somehow has something in its kit that can beat Ray or Slicker, which again, I mean, I'm not one to put on the tinfoil hat, but they did just release some packs.
I think what CG is trying to say is what I told you was true from a certain point of view.
You know what? I don't want any of your death sticks. I want you to stop.
You will go home and rethink your life.
I can't.
Actually, I don't want you to stop. These have been well placed. I want to see how.
I can't.
This is unscripted. This is completely unscripted, by the way.
He's not
just
looking at
pure corniness and awfulness.
Oh, but it's outstanding. It's like, keep going. I want to see what else we can throw you in here with. That's great. So again, this is obviously a very end game kind of thing. I mean, yeah, the only real freebie that anybody's getting is the Mandalorian. The rest are all marquees. So this is something that really tip of the spear, as Nev would put it. This is something that, I mean, Swamp, I don't think you're going to be looking at anytime soon. Bob or Avant, I don't think this is going to be anything on your radar immediately.
Not at all.
I'll be farming the characters once they're released to nodes, but I'm not going to wail out on them.
Yeah,
we won't have
same.
anytime soon. I will say I will commend them because I really thought it was screaming it to be required that we had Beskar Gideon. So I will say that's a positive that that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Now, here's the other question. So obviously, Kelleran Beck is not going to be a Mandalorian. He's going to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're strong in Jedi and you see his kit, maybe that's something you might want to go after. And IG-12 and Grogu, that's not going to be a Mandalorian. I mean,
well, let's think about those real quick. Let's start with the Kelleran. That's a good topic. What's he gonna be? What's he gonna do? Is he going to be the Rex for Galactic?
no, he's going to be Galactic Republic. He would have to be Galactic Republic Jedi. He would have to be.
But maybe he'll be the lifter like Rex was for the Phoenix. It could be that easy. One character could do it.
Could you see him like maybe piecing together Jedi Council Jedi somehow?
No, because he wasn't on the council, so there's no point in
No.
But like shoring up the rest of the useless Galactic Republic Jedi that we all have.
Right. Piecing together like Luminara Unduli, Kit Fisto, Eth Koth. You could. I wouldn't want to take Cam out, but you could put Cam in there. Like some of those Council Jedi.
Yeah, he could have some crazy unique that requires an Omicron that makes Galactic Republic Jedi just awesome.
You know who won't be in that squad? Anakin.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. You're killing it today. Even if it's not your quote, you're still killing it. Yeah.
Hey, he has the high ground.
I can see Cam being in this squad.
That's my line, Logan. That's my line.
Sorry.
You can't use it now though. It's already been done. That was going to be the sign off or something, wasn't it? But you think he might be a leader? Because I don't even know who the leader would be.
No, I don't think he's going to be a leader.
It'd be a support, like a support unit with a unique ability that ties
who would you
Jedi
put
together.
Out of those shitty characters, the leadership. Yeah, you know what I mean. They might have to rework somebody, even possibly.
Maybe they touch up one of the Jedi.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What?
But which one has a leadership that's worth putting in the leadership spot?
I don't think anybody is going to have to be reworked. That may come later on down the line, but if you look at what CG is doing with the kits today and how long they are and what they're doing with Omicrons, it takes one ability to make a team viable. Look at what Old Man Rex did for Phoenix. That was one tune, one ability.
Yeah.
That was it. He put Phoenix back on the map.
And they didn't touch Phoenix at all. They left him just how they were.
They left him alone. So I'm thinking this could be a tune that comes in that is going to make people go, oh, shit, maybe I should actually put some work into my Kit Fisto.
Yeah, think about all the Jedi in the annals of history. And you're the one that's named Kit Fisto. I'd be pissed.
Well, it's on his birth certificate. Swamp. What do you think about Kelleran Beck? What are your thoughts on this?
So there's two things I could see that would be pretty cool. Is if it was like the young Jedi in the game. So if he had synergy with like Ahsoka, Barriss, and stuff like that specifically, because he trained them all, or a majority of them to some degree.
I can see Avant trying to choke you through the screen. When you said Barriss.
That backstabbing bitch.
But yeah, he trained a lot of the younglings in those days. So I could see maybe some kind of synergy like that. He's also very focused on protecting Grogu in general. Like that's his favorite students. So I could see maybe him having specific synergy with the IG-12 maybe.
So there's a possibility he could be in the Bow Squad, because
maybe
we'll get to IG-12, but I kind of feel like he's going to go with her. So
yeah, I think IG-12 is a Mandalorian, like as far as like what he actually is. Like I don't know if they'll make him that in the game, but yeah, by that point he already is. He's got his first few pieces of armor. He doesn't get named Din Grogu until later, but he's still a Mandalorian, I would say.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and again, I'm gonna kind of go back on the thing with Old Man Rex. I mean, again, that was a requirement for a GL, but when we look at Kelleran Beck and what he could do, and we look at lore and what possibly could happen, it's very possible, going off the model of what they did with Rex. They had an Omicron that was Phoenix yet clone based, depending on 5v5 or 3v3. They very well could go with Kelleran Beck something for Mandos in either 3v3 or Galactic Republic Jedi in 5v5 or vice versa. I feel like these kits are becoming so complicated and so in depth that, I mean, again, we're speculating. It's really impossible to know what they're thinking, but these are the different things that, as players, I think the direction that they could go in that would be a lot of fun. Like, I would like to see another tune come in and revive some of the Galactic Republic Jedi, because Avant, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of them are shit.
Okay, so Jack Daniels in chat just named a bunch of the old Jedi, and it kind of sparked a thought. So the Jedi that he named are Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Eth Koth, Amagundai, and Luminara Unduli. The one of those Jedi that does have a good leadership is Amagundai.
Yes, he does.
Can I just say, how lazy of writing was it to call him Amagundai? Because literally, he's in one episode and he dies.
I think that was the joke too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of these Jedi, George Lucas just sneezed and they wrote down what it sounded like.
Like, can you imagine you're
He sneezed and he had an allergy attack, and there was the Jedi. There they were.
just imagine this. You're sitting at the table and they're writing this story, and they're like, all right, we're gonna have this Jedi. We don't want to have anyone that we know that's gonna die, but this Jedi will sacrifice himself to save people. What should we call him? And like, who was the clown who was just like, let's call him Amagundai.
Genius. And that's
Count it.
That's actually smarter than half the writers in Hollywood right now. So.
Well, they're all on strike. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But back to Amagundai, his leadership gives Jedi counter chance. So basically, they all just counterattack you to death, and it's super annoying. So if I put my theory crafting hat on, maybe Kelleran Beck grants all Jedi riposte bones.
Riposte.
And
Stay.
maybe all the Jedi will get repost and then attack under protection with their counterattacks and be super, super annoying. I feel like that would be pretty fun.
And don't forget, Luminara has an Omicron. I don't know if it would. Maybe they could play into that too to make him a little OP. I don't know.
Remember, Bones, you heard it here first. Kelleran Beck repost Jedi. There's my prediction.
Okay. Well,
It kind of sounds
that
like
was a really deep dive there.
Well, no, go ahead, Swamp. What do you got? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that kind of sounds similar to that Imperial Super Commando thing that we just got too, right? With the counter-attacking and the true damage or whatever. So
just completely wrecking people with true damage.
Oh, insane.
Oh, I didn't use that team in my last GAC. I totally forgot about it and was like, oh, I could have used that. And something I forgot about.
Yacht problems.
Yeah. All right. So IG-12 and Grogu could be a Mandalorian. We don't know. But when we look at the Mandalorian team, I think CG is putting us, and I like it. They're putting us in a position where Maul is now going to be permanently attached to Lord Vader.
Yes.
Permanent. That's I believe that's now gospel. That's set in stone. So when we look at the rest of the Mandalorians, I think for this team, it's going to be the new Bo-Katan, obviously Paz Vizsla, Canderous. We don't know about IG-12 and Grogu, but
Candyman's dark side though,
Right.
so he won't have good synergy.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm not wondering if Beck or Kelleran doesn't go with IG-12 in that Bo-Katan team.
Well, do we know that though? I mean, yeah, the bow is going to be light side, but it might have synergy for just Mandalorians. Period.
I would think that it would be Bo-Katan Mandalore, Bo-Katan, Paz Vizsla,
Bam. Maybe.
Crafting Waste says armor.
yeah, Bam
Now,
and
what you're
armor.
saying is the armor going to get taken away from being plug and play? Because a lot of people use the armor for a lot of different things.
I mean, if you don't want to use the armor in there, you could put Sabine in there as another Mandalorian.
But it'd be cool to get some use out of the armor. She's an awesome character. I would like to collect her. I just don't have much use for her where I'm at in the game.
I use the armor in almost every GAC.
Yeah.
Same.
I use the she's Relic 7 with decent mods for a reason.
She's easier to use in 5v5, much harder to use in 3v3.
She'll get targeted and fucking smoked.
Yeah, then go sideways.
Yep. Because you haven't gotten the 3 stacks of Beskar armor yet, and it's a pain in the
Right.
ass. I mean, 2 is all right, but you'd rather have 3. Then you take that chance and gamble, and she gets killed, and you're like, fuck. I should have just hit it at 2.
Yeah, my alt, I brought her up just for Sith Eternal use. And last night I seen that GL Leia was in Arena, and I was like, I only have Sith Eternal on this account. Let's try it out. Absolutely wrecks GL Leia with Watt, Armor, GBA, and Talon. And I was really surprised by that, so I started asking around on Discord, and people were like, what? So I don't know if this is like a little known thing or whatever, but yeah, tried that out a few times last night against Relic 9, Leia's, and all kind of stuff in Arena.
There you go.
And that was,
there you go.
Well, that was kind of the other thing to kind of go back to what we were talking about trusting CG. I mean, they came out with GL Leia and said, offense. It's Tyreek Hill and Waddle. It's all offense. Yet on defense, it is disgusting to deal with. Absolutely a nightmare. And again, that's just another thing that CG had said that, well, do this. Yet, no, working another way. I know that's good to know, Swamp. If that worked against GL Leia, that's interesting.
You heard it.
Yeah,
here.
I tried a couple different variants just to kind of make sure, and yeah, there was no point where my Sith Eternal went under 80% health. That's how easy it was. Like she procced like 3-4 alts, didn't matter.
And say the squad again, real quick. What was it?
So Sith Eternal with Watt and Armor, GBA, and Talon.
Oh, so this is a 5-man squad?
Yeah, it was in Arena. Like no like Arena. Drogon, Omicron involved and stuff like that. So it's not like a.
So in GAC, that could be a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
Worth giving it a shot though, because everyone else is losing with everything else they got. So
I wouldn't do it. Honestly, again, side topic. Sorry, side tangent. I think GL Leia is the most dominant legend on defense in 3v3. Like there's just no. If the battle does not go your way immediately, you're fucked. And you are like Drogon is going to snipe somebody and you're done.
The best defense is a swift and decisive offense.
I set you up.
Is that something he even says? I don't think that's a
Look
quote.
it up. Look it up.
Look it up. Where did you dig up that old fossil? Like, what the fuck?
No, okay, look, man, you can't steal my quotes.
That
was a Han Solo quote.
Oh yeah, and that's about you. We're talking about you.
talking about you. Come on, man. That's a New Hope.
Look, I'm old. I have dementia. Okay.
What did Obi-Wan, apparently.
No one watches the original trilogy anymore. They act like it's too old to watch. People hate it.
All right, so now that we have the requirements, we've speculated on what tunes might go where. They're all Relic 7, so that's a little expensive. Let's go around the panel. Bob, is this something that you're interested in? You're gonna divert resources for, or no?
You're talking about Bo in general?
Oh yeah, this event, is it something that you're gonna?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. And do we know for sure it's a Grand Arena tune? Do we know anything about it?
Yes, they did. If they said that this will.
I think they said it will rival Galactic Legends in Grand Arena.
In Grand Arena. So her Omicrons are going to be GAC.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it, but like you said a minute ago, it's just something I can't get for a long time. I don't even have Afra. I mean, I would get it before Afra. I'm just saying there's so much stuff I don't have. So many things I'm working on at the moment with these GL packs and Malicos and Jedi Knight Cal. It's going to be probably a year before I ever would get her. But yeah, it's going to be above priority on most things. Once I get all my farms done, it'll probably be there. But that's probably 6-7 months from now.
Avant?
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Jesus Christ.
How does that even compare to what we were talking about? You should have saved that one when we were back on it.
That's kind of appropriate. That's why I had the reaction I did. Like, he hit it again. He kind of nailed it. He kind of nailed it.
Yes, I'm excited. I will slow farm them once the characters are farmable on nodes. Maybe CG will graciously give us additive drops again. Who knows?
Okay, so there's more drops coming, correct?
Yeah, that was brought up that apparently there's more double drops coming. I kind of saw something about that. Does anybody else have any insight on that?
I think that's if you donated to the Extra Life thing.
No, they met a milestone. Everyone met a milestone, so there's more double drops coming. I don't know what kind. From the data mines, it looked like it's just one area, like dark side or something, or light side. I don't know, but maybe someone on the chat can tell us. But there is another double drops coming.
I mean, double drops are double drops. If I can find something useful, I'll farm the shit out of it. But I don't really know.
Yeah, all I heard was people saying double drops, no specifics or anything.
Yeah, like we don't know what they're going to be. We don't have an idea.
I'll bet you it's for like 2 days or something, like a quick double drop event. I'd be cool with that. I mean, signal data. Whatever farms you're working on, maybe salvage material.
Dude, if it's 2 days of double drops and Cantina, I'll take it. I mean, signal data is signal data. We all need it. I mean, if anybody says, I don't need signal data, you're a liar. Or you spend a lot of money. Like, that's how that is.
Yeah, for me, whenever the Cantina double drops come around, like whatever characters I haven't farmed out of Cantina, I take advantage of those double drops so I can just bang it out real quick.
Like, I will be 100% honest. 300 crystals every day go to signal data daily. That's just
every day, except for the last.
It does not matter my crystal income. It doesn't matter how much I spend. 300 crystals a day are going to signal data without fail.
Yeah, I personally have been farming Drogon on Cantina, so I haven't been doing any signal data since he became farmable, but I will be back on that signal data grind in another, hopefully 3 days if my drops are good.
I know. I like the fact that they put some characters in Cantina. It does overall hurt some players to lose that many days of it. It hurt. It stings. It hurts.
I would rather farm the character in like 2 weeks than 3 months, though.
No, I agree. It does sting a little bit.
All right, so listen, I found the milestone. They hit 40K, and I don't know what week this is. It could be next week. It might be. It says Monday. You get a free extra life mystery chest, which is a web exclusive. You get a free inbox gift. Tuesday, they do the credit heist event and a galactic challenge, Rebels versus Empire. 2 days. Wednesday, assault battle, Rebels. Thursday, all the capital ships come back. Even the Finalizer, Radis, Executrix, Home One, Endurance, all of them is on Thursday. And then Friday, Resource Smuggler event, free 7-day calendar, web exclusive, Galactic Challenge, Hut Cardell versus Rebels, and double drops for 1 day. So maybe double drops everywhere.
That might be double drops everywhere for 1 day. You know what? 1 day?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down. Yeah, we don't get that, so I'm down.
So real quick, let's ask this question. Bob, you have double drops for a day. Let's go around the panel. What are you spending it on?
Well, Tarful. Something I feel like Cantina gets you the best stuff because you don't have to refresh a lot. But just the shards, I'm sharding right now. I'll do a little extra refreshes and all that. I can't do too much, and then just I want to do signal data because that's usually the smartest thing to farm. But I have Drogon I need to work on, so it'll be Drogon and my other shard, the other layer requirements, and fucking Tarful. So yeah.
Avant, one day of double drops. What are you working on?
Signal data, and then I will do probably some Kyrotex on light side 7B and light side 1D to get some bronzium, or not bronzium, circuit boards, carbonite circuit boards. And then fleet, it's the one with the fusion furnace. I don't know which it's 3 something. Fleet 3 something with the Tier 12 fusion furnaces. Probably go after those.
Swamp, you got 1 day of double drops, man. What are you farming? What are you working on?
So if mods are a part of it, I'm maxing out mod refreshes for sure. Just
same here.
Getting mod stuff. Signal data probably on my main. Like on my alt, I'm working on getting those what's it called? The first order ships to get finalizer because I did buy those packs, and that's kind of that's something that's in Cantina there with TIE silencer. And actually, I'm pretty close to that anyways. It would probably be done in the first 10 minutes of that day. But yeah, mostly signal data, shock prods, mod stuff. Same what you were saying about the what Avant was saying about the carbonite circuit boards, probably that as well on light side.
Yeah. I would have to say for 1 day of double drops, definitely maxing out signal data, maxing out mods. I don't want honestly, it's weird. I'm actually in a really good place Chirotech wise. I've got 12 full pieces of one and 10 of the other. I'm in a really good shape Chirotech. Yeah, I get it, guys. You got fucking problems. Fuck her off. But the one thing that I am lacking on is mod reroll material. So I would try to work on some mods and some of that. And honestly,
where's that at? Where's the reroll materials at?
All the mod battle.
Yep.
Like the last tiers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
last tiers you get those. Other than that,
I have a fun nickname for that resource, guys. Mac 10s, because they're micro attenuators. So Mac 10s.
Yep. I like it.
Nice.
I'll start calling them that now. Well, so Jack in the chat says it's just light side, dark side, and fleet. He says we need to start reading the data mines. I don't know. Somebody's getting double drops.
Who said that?
Jack D. Nels.
Y'all need to check that. I'm looking at it right now. Well, Jack, let me
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Let me tell you this there, Jack. Well, I appreciate the words of education, I'm not that far down the rabbit hole to know where I would look that shit up. So if you want to send me a link, I'll gladly look at it. But I spend money, I have fun, I drink, I do a podcast. I don't know about the ins and outs.
If I send Logan too many messages, he won't scroll up very far up to even read them. So you
and then I'll give him a meme of Tom Hardy saying "fuck her off."
So if you're gonna text him, just text one line and wait for him to respond.
Like literally, that's it. Like I'm a busy man. I got shit to do. But no, if that was in the data mine, thank you for that. No, thank you for that for that info. I didn't know that. So
yeah, he gets all of his info. Because I will occasionally look here. The Swigo Events Discord server, they'll drop data mines in like as soon as they pull them out. So it's like you'll know new character art is coming or like new packs are coming, and it's pretty interesting. It's actually kind of funny because Sig runs that server, and it's like I think it's Arnold who says it's like the unofficial road ahead is the Swigo event server, because
I have heard Hugh Hefner say that.
usually it'll be like, oh, Sig has a data mine of new character packs, so let's speculate on who the new characters are going to be.
Sig's cool. I want to get him on here sometime. Really nice guy. I met him on the Escape podcast.
So another debate I wanted to bring to the panel, and again, I want to give a shout out to a show that Bodie had brought to our attention, Galaxy of Zeros. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. But I listened to their latest podcast, and they brought up an interesting point, something I hadn't thought about. So we all know about these extra packs, these packs that came out for GLs, and these packs were, they were. This was unprecedented in what CG has given players trying to start out. Nothing compares to what they did. There's no other pack out there, even the Hyperdrive bundle. It doesn't compare to the value of what CG gave you with these packs. So now that they came, a lot of people bought them, they're gone. Some interesting topics were brought up about, well, it may have forced quite a few people that were free to play to go, fuck it. It's what, 50, 60 bucks? You know what? I like this game. I want to play it. I'm sick of getting my ass kicked. I'm just going to do it. So people do it. But it brings up its own set of problems, such as mod deficiency, not enough Zetas, not enough currency in some instances. So, and does this also just in a weird way, is this another fuck you to free to play?
I would just like to say that it's a very interesting concept of CG to be like, let's release a pack with good value and see if people decide to buy it.
Not just good value. We're talking stupid good. Like, it is ridiculous what they offered people. That is bonkers.
I just don't know how we can spin this to be a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but for those like again, Bob, Nev, I'm free to play. I don't spend money. Dude, it's $40. It's $50. Like they are. CG is targeting the free to play community to be like it's like it's that forbidden fruit. It's that temptation of, dude, we are going to dangle the most ridiculous shit in front of you and hope you bite. And if you don't, you're going to kick yourself for it later.
And then next time we release this, you will buy it because they learned their lesson of it. No, that's a good point. I can see that. I mean, yeah, it is ruining the completely free to play. I kind of see that you're going to start in your bracket. You're going to start seeing these GLs faster, and more people are going to have them, so they're inevitable. You're always going to come, it's going to, like you said, muddy the water a bit, where it's going to be a more common thing. So I can see that.
I mean, how entertaining would it be though to go into your GAC and face someone with 1 Zeta on Ray at like tier 8? And you're like, oh man, I'm gonna gas 501st the shit out of this squad. Like I said, that just sounds super entertaining to me.
And I think that's the other thing. Like I've heard a couple of people say that, well, they've done these packs. They've got to do Zeta packs and Omega packs, and like, no, they don't. They've given you the keys. You've got to put gas in the car.
Well, I don't think that if CG's like, okay, a bunch of people bought these packs, we'll call them the $50 GL packs because it was like $50 to get Ray and Slicker together, right? Ballpark ish.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Killer.
Unless you're Canadian, then it costs more.
Unless you're Canadian. Unless you're
70-ish, yeah, something like that.
But I mean, the people who were like, oh man, I don't really want to spend money, but these packs are really good value. I'm going to buy them. Those people are not going to buy $100 Zeta pack. Because that's what's coming. CG's going to be like, here's these 10 Zetas for $100. And then all the whales will buy them. And the people who are like dolphins will be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm all good on that.
Swamp, what's your thoughts on it?
So I got a fun analogy about the Lightspeed bundles. It's like CG was like, we're gonna have a feast, a big barbecue. Come on down. We got $10 for or $1 for a nice steak. We got $1 for a nice piece of chicken. We got $3 for a nice piece of fish.
I like where this is going.
Stuff. And so we're all sitting down eating our very cheap, awesome food. But then you start hearing people complain because afterwards they have to go to the dessert bar and serve themselves. Like, get out of here.
and the dessert costs like $100.
Yeah. But no, something I found really funny is when the packs first came out, I thought, like in my head, I'm like, okay, so somebody can start today, buy the Hyperdrive bundle, buy the Lightspeed bundles. Tomorrow they have SLKR and Ray, but it's not. So the funny thing is they're locked behind those capital ships, which you cannot get unless you have a 7-star capital ship.
Yeah.
So if somebody did that, like a whale bought bought all that stuff on a new account, they potentially would have to whale on, Executrix, spend like $300 on Executrix.
Bummer.
Yep.
So,
I'm still waiting for my Radis to even get unlocked. So I have everything ready for Ray, and I could be at least farming tickets or something, but nope. Just sitting there, and I'm not refreshing for Radis, so it'll just happen when it happens. But there are a few things people don't think about.
And another interesting thing that was brought up, and again, Galaxy of Zeros, I listened to it and went, oh shit, that's true. This pack is more geared for some mid-game players that went, no, I'm not doing Slicker or Ray. I'm going for Lord Vader. I'm going for Kenobi. I'm going for Jabba. I'm going for SCE or Jedi Master Luke. They didn't want Ray. They didn't want Slicker. But they have some of these ships. They have some of these things already done. So buying this pack, like, perfect instance, my son. He had Radis. He came back to the game because he saw these packs. He was already at like 4 or 5 million GP, and bang, he's got 2 legends now. But the big issue is Zetas, mods, Omegas. It's like they gave you this stuff, but again, it's like, well, we're gonna dangle this in front of you, but you still gotta do some work.
Yeah. Yeah, we got all that food, but we don't get a drink with it. We don't get any condiments. It's just a straight up dry food.
And you can't have a plate. You got to eat it with your hands.
Yeah. No silverware or anything. That's how they were able to give it to you for so cheap.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I think the packs were great for the game. I think they were great for the health of the game. I think it was an amazing tool to give players that are just getting into this game and not looking at the requirements and the roster and going, "Oh my God, where do I start?" So, yeah, but I mean, you do have to spend, but it's there for the taking if you want it. But I mean, at this point, where does CG go from here next? I don't know if they could do a Jedi Master Luke pack because there's so much overlap. I mean, I don't know, like honestly, how would that work?
I have a theory on this. It would have to be like an R2D2 pack, a CLS pack, a Chewbacca pack, a C3PO pack, and then maybe one other pack. And then if you buy all those, then it equals JML kind of thing.
Which is kind of smart. That's a lot of packs, and those add up.
Or a JTR pack as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jedi Master Luke is one of those legends where you need so much different stuff.
So that's
Galaxy
my
of
theory.
Packs.
I also see an Executor one coming out probably next year as well. Because by that point, everyone should be, have one of those ships underneath the belt. We'll probably be getting a fourth one. So I could see next year when this starts happening again, you get an Executor one.
I definitely think an SCE pack is on the horizon.
I think that's more feasible than a Jedi Master Luke pack.
Absolutely, I think SCE is a lot more feasible. Yeah,
I don't
Jedi Knight Luke is the gate for Jedi Master Luke.
It is.
I just don't see them. I mean, of course, that's what Swamp said, which I can very well see happening. But I just don't see them giving away JMK or any of those really, really tough ones. Although you need Cap, which is locked behind Conquest. But I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe every year they'll put the next ones out. But it just seems like it's too good to be true. I mean, do you guys?
The game's old enough that like every year they could start doing that.
I think so.
Do you think they'll do all four, or do you think they'll do two at a time every time? Do you think?
I honestly, they just did Ray and Slicker. I think next will be JML and maybe Gas, because or no, SCE and Gas.
Jedi Knight Luke.
Yeah.
Jedi Knight Luke was required for JML.
I think they'll do SCE and Gas because Jedi Master Luke just has too much overlap with two other. I don't.
Mr. Data Mines, Jack said, and he's right. I remember seeing this, Jack. There are 7 more Lightspeed bundles in the Data Mines, which means they must be coming soon.
Which means there were 5 before, and now there's 7. So there's 2 other Lightspeed bundles.
Yeah, how long?
Yeah, at first I kind of thought it might be like once a year, but once I heard about these data mines, I'm like, man, maybe it's going to be rapid fire. Like maybe we get, some sort of C packs and JML packs for Christmas, and then,
I mean, they could literally put those Lightspeed packs in the store, like through the journey guide, and just make them permanent. Like,
Yep.
Do you want this character? Do you not want to waste your time farming? Like, here, give me $40 US.
I mean, what's the catch, Swamp? These two think I'm crazy. What's the fucking catch, man? What are they trying to drop on us soon? What are they buttering us up for? Do you think there's anything coming?
I don't know. I just think it is catch-up mechanics because, like, it just takes forever to get GLs, and yeah, just get everybody caught up. make it so everybody has more of a fair, not fair, but closer to fair playing ground or level playing ground, and at a reasonable price. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like that they're buttering it up. CG never does anything to without getting something back in return. So
I
It's
agree.
revenue, right? They're making more money
Yeah.
off those speed packs than they have off anything in the last 5 years. So
What if that is simply the answer? Is that they saw a gate, they opened it, and a bunch of money poured through it, and like
mhm.
they're like, oh shit, that worked really well. We should do that again.
Sit down.
is there a way to find out like how much they made? Like, is there an earnings report that we can?
No, there is. I've heard
Uh,
actually on the Gambit podcast a couple times their quarterly earnings of what they've made. I don't know how to look that up. They do, but I don't know.
Arnold T did a
Yeah.
video the other day about it.
Yeah, I don't know specifically, but I know somebody came in the swamp and they were telling me that, and I was like, "Whoa, that's it's good for them making all that money. Everybody's happy. Go."
And that's what I've
It's good
preached
for the game.
years.
It keeps it going.
You can make the player base happy and still make money. Like, it's not unheard of.
Mhm.
But it just seems like this is like a new thing to these companies. Like that before that
Well,
was
it's like
unheard of.
it's like honestly, I think a gas pack is because here's the other thing with a lot of early to mid game players, CG really presses the fact that you want to get the new shit. You really want Java, you really want Leia, but you have all this other shit to do, and you just when are you gonna fit in the time? So I like what they did with these packs, but I think to maybe progress players more, I think something for gas should be out there. There's other things that they can do to really.
No, I think everyone should have to suffer through that event the way I did.
Yeah.
I can't
Honestly
wait till
though,
I play
even
it,
if
man.
you had them all Relic 5, it's still a pain. I did that on my main account and it took me like 100 attempts, like fully modded out or fully Relic 5, great mods. It was just as difficult as my friend who did bare minimum. So
Unlocking gas is one of the happiest in-game moments I can remember because I knew that it was done and I would never have to do it ever again. it was ridiculous.
That's how I felt about unlocking the CLS for the first time. I dropped my knees and like praised. My dad was looking at me like, "What the fuck is your problem, man?"
You know what? To be 100% honest, if you have a problem with that, then you should have a problem with going through the rock paper scissor event of Red.
yeah.
Faint
I do have a
parry
problem
strike.
with that.
Like if we're gonna be fucking real, let's be real. All right, the gas
It was
event
definitely easier though.
It was, but that rock paper scissors shit was annoying as hell.
Do you remember CG trying to explain it how it was like this game altering mode that they came up with and how it was gonna
Like it's gonna depend on your decisions. Get the fuck out of here. Like, no, this is stupid.
That kind of makes me worried about the new raid coming out because they said that, right? It's all different abilities than the characters have, and their mods don't matter and stuff like that. So it's like, is
They
this going to
did-
be feint strike, parry strike? I don't know.
Yeah, they did say mods don't matter. That is true, Swamp. I forgot about that. That is true.
And who's waiting for the bugged out version of this? I think that's why we haven't seen it yet. Because that just sounds complicated and overly complicated for no reason. And I can just see this thing bugging the fuck out.
And
You know
again,
what?
that goes back to, do we trust CG? Like, we can't even get Conquest to roll out properly. And it's starting again in 3 days.
I have a suspicion that our road ahead has not been released yet because they are still working on the kinks and the bugs of this new raid.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, thank you for doing that. Like,
If that
don't-
is the case, I agree. Like, we're overdue for the road ahead at this point, right?
don't just like rush it out just to like rush it out. Just make it work. Make it work how you wanted it to work, how it was intended to be, and then release it, you know?
But yeah,
Dude, I worry about this raid so much. Like this is, I mean, again, that Mark III currency, I need that shit, and I don't want a bunch of fucking bugs in it.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out this month. It usually does. But we were talking to Pico, and he seemed to believe for whatever reason that they're holding off.
They pushed it to November. Yeah.
So it was due. So the road ahead was due this month, but Pico seems to think it's going to be next month.
Correct.
All right.
Fine. So be it. You know.
Well, fine.
I don't even care. Bring it out next year. I'll keep doing the one I have now. Like, that's not something I'm looking forward to at all. When they announced it, I was like, it sounds like a step down from what they're doing. Because
it's not the end of the world, right? It's going to let more people get Leia. It's going to let more people get those characters up to relics and like work on them a little bit more.
For sure. I agree. But it just sounds complicated and less fun. I don't already put too much effort into the raid, which is one attack. So I don't want to put any more into it than that. Or have to think. Now I have to think, okay, this translates into this now. Okay, now I have to put this character in with that character. Or fuck, now I have 3 of the same characters because I forgot what this one converted into. My brain's starting to hurt.
Wait a minute. You don't want to think, yet you mod your characters?
Have you ever watched a stream of mine? I don't think
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thinking involved. There's a lot of clicking. And hope we're good in RNG. Listen,
Get it good enough to put auto on.
I took my Gear 11, Gear 11 Slacker against Darth Revan, and I was doing basics instead of A3s, so I wasn't ramping up offense, I guess. I didn't read the kids.
Was the chat devouring you?
Yeah. So pretty much if I would have, so he had all the Zetas, he had everything. So if I would have just, kept doing the A3, I would have stacked enough to get rid of them. Instead, they kicked my ass. So it's up to the chat for me to win, really.
So I've got to ask real quick before we move on to the next segment. Avant, what is it about Barriss that you hate? Well, like, where does that come from?
Well, from someone who's actually watched the animated shows,
I didn't.
She's just a terrible. Okay. Summing up Barriss's character arc, she was Luminara Unduli's Padawan. Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan. Ahsoka and Barriss became friends and like did a couple missions together where it was Anakin and Luminara, and then Barriss and Ahsoka. And eventually someone framed Ahsoka for committing like some terrorist crime on the Jedi Temple. And the Jedi Order kicked Ahsoka out, and Anakin had to like prove her innocence. And it turned out that the person who set up Ahsoka was Barriss Offee. And so Barriss was like this dark side fallen Jedi, if you will, who was the reason that that Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. So she's a backstabbing bitch. Because Ahsoka thought she was her friend, but she's not.
He holds
it's true. It's true story. True story.
And she also just sucks. She's such a dumb character. She hits like a wet noodle. It's terrible.
But she passes.
Oh, in game, she's awesome.
You don't want her to hit. In the game, she's a godsend.
So, in the early game, like when I first was playing Swigo, the Barriss meta was unreal because anyone that would crit, she would heal everyone, right? And there used to be this one a-hole in my arena shard who used to always target me, and he had a Barriss squad. So I started running a Nihilist lead squad against him just to stop him from beating me, and it was very enjoyable for me. And for those of you like Bones who don't know, Uh,
What the fuck does that mean?
not what does Darth
Shots.
Nihilus' lead
Shots
do?
fired.
What does Nihilus' lead do?
It
Yeah, most Swigo players don't ever use Nihilus lead, and you shouldn't.
doesn't it give you like 100% defense or something?
So you lose all of your protection. You have only
Right.
health. You have like an insane amount of health steal. You cannot critically hit enemies. So Barris does not heal the team. You basically can't crit anyone. It's like a really weird niche lead, but works very well.
It's funny that he was targeting you with Barris, though. He doesn't
Yeah.
even know how much you hate her.
Well, I enjoyed annihilating that team.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Literally,
Lucky Grace.
literally and figuratively.
Well,
Yeah, so that's why I hate Barris.
all right.
I was just curious why you hated Barris. I didn't know, but okay. All right.
If you watch Twin Sons, you know.
That's true.
So, anyhow, here we go. This has been a question that has been around. Some people feel differently. Some people are good with it. Some people are not. Let's go around the panel. Let's start with you, Swamp. These packs that came out, do you feel cheated in any way? Do you feel like God damn it, like this sucks. Wasted so much time.
So I did waste a lot of time, and that's definitely a thing. But at least now I'm in the mindset that I'm not going for any more GLs. Once I got my Jabba, I'm going like, Wookiee squad. I'm going all the fun things in the game. And yeah, screw GLs. I'll just buy them when they come back around. That's it.
That's a good
But I
idea.
must say, I did buy the BB-8 pack on my main, even though I did have SLKR and all that, just because it brings the TIE fighter pilots up to R5, which is
Yeah.
something that I want anyways. And now I don't have to farm it. I can just buy it $10. Boom.
And it's almost like even for one or two characters, that pack is worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least the $10 one,
Yeah.
maybe not the bigger ones.
And going back to what you're saying, that you can work on what's fun, I recommend after 2 or 3 long farms of getting what you need to do that, to get 3 or 4 teams in order. And I have to, for the sanity of me and the health of my health, for the mental health for the game. I just have to take a break sometimes, and it helps me too. It makes my defenses better, our offenses better as well. Real quick, guys, Rokarin Mazel, thank you so much for the sub. Can't thank you enough. Also, my man Andy Beads.
Hey, thank you, man, very much. Who?
Rokarin Mazel.
Oh, I caught that. What else did you say?
Oh, Andy Beads. He's me and Swamp's bud from the what do we call it? What was the train?
The Chain Gang.
The Chain Gang. No train involved.
All right. Well, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it from the other person, and thank you
Andy
for the
didn't
support.
sub. He just
from
followed
the
us. But yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Anyways, continue.
So, I think now is the time that we turn it over to our gentleman who always has the high ground, our thrift shopping specialist, Avant. And what is he? What have you been thinking about, man? What do you got in the cart that's going to help people in terms of gear or shards or mods or whatever you got going?
So I kind of felt the squeeze when I was gearing up some of my characters for GLA. So one of the areas that I got stuck was once you get the characters to gear 12, the left side pieces, a lot of the purple gear for those pieces I'm running really, really short on. And I was looking at just the economy of where you can buy those and what's good value and what's not good value. The best place you can do that, if you don't have fleet farms, you can farm them on the fleet nodes. That's a good place to do that. Another place you can do that is I always look in the shard shop store. They'll pop up. There's always a gold piece for the left side, and then there's purple pieces. I think two separate spots. So they're pretty good. Three spots. What I that shark tender shop is my shard store currency on.
Oh my God, you sound terrible.
Buy
Hold
those.
on, just stop talking for a minute, because I don't know what the hell.
You sound terrible.
That's. I'm just some crazy old space wizard.
You sounded like one. You were freaking me out.
That was quite the trick.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So the purple and gold pieces, I get those in Shard Shop store. That's probably the best place to get them. And then I was looking at like the new raid currency, like the crate raid currency. You have the MK1, MK2, MK3. The MK2, you should be buying right-sided Gear 12 pieces with that, unless you don't need to. And then if you don't need to, you can use that currency to buy the purple pieces on the left side. It's not great value, but if you don't need any right-sided Gear 12 pieces, then you can spend it there. So like, if you can farm the stuff, that's definitely your best value, but like that's not feasible for a lot of people. Probably the worst value is what I did the other day to get my Scout Trooper up to Gear 13 is using crystals to buy them. Please never do that. It's a horrible value.
Yep. There it is. And there it is, folks. Don't do that.
You can also use your get one currency to buy a lot of those purple pieces. And I tend to save up. I know people like to hoard that. I tend to save up like 10 like, God, how much do I have of that? I tend to save up the get one until I get to a certain point, and then I start spending it on stuff. I try to get like 10,000 of it, and then I'll spend it on stuff to just kind of stockpile. I like to keep like 200 or 300 of those things around, of the left-sided purple pieces, just so that I can take a character to Gear 13 once I get him to 7 stars. And then I just try to fill up my stocks again. But yeah, that's what I've been working on for thrift shopping stuff. That's what's been kind of pinching me lately.
What do you think, Swamp? What are some of the tips that you do in terms of farming for gear, and what do you do?
So one thing I want to mention before I say that is MK is Mark. It stands for Mark. So Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. Just so you know. But anyways, yeah, for those, same thing as what you were saying, like looking in the Shard Shop store and the get one for a lot of those pieces for sure.
Yeah.
I on my main account I have, because I was saying I don't have Sith Empire, right? I have I think it's 54.5k hoarded for Malik, so anything over that I spend. But
that's how much it takes.
Yeah, it's actually more than that, because I have free gifted shards that were from the whatever holiday free stuff that they gave. So
right.
Yeah, it's something like over 60k, and if you want Hermit Yoda, that's over 100k for that, and same with Wampa.
I don't remember that. That's insane.
Yeah, it's that's one of the biggest tips I give to newer players. Once you start getting those currencies, don't spend it on gear like certain content creators will tell you to do, because they're saying like, oh, here's a great strategy to rush GLs. But the thing is, if you do that, you can buy that gear till the cows come home. You'll still need more, and you won't have Hermit Yoda. You won't have, Wampa and
That's
so on.
That's a good point, because Hermit Yoda and Wampa, at some point, you're going to want them in your roster.
You can buy them with the new gear currency, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now they're in the new raid shop, right? Is that which one it is?
For the Mark 1 guild currency.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's at like
so
the
it is
very bottom of the
easier,
page.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring up, like, there was a viewer question in the Discord. It was like, where do I get gear to keypads and not the arrow magnifiers, the one that you need for Relic 8.
Impulse detector.
Impulse.
Yeah.
Yep.
So impulse detectors and gear to keypads. I personally use my Guild Mark III raid currency to buy that stuff. And then if you for some reason don't need those with your Mark III Guild currency, then I will buy the Zinbiddle cards. But you pretty much could use gear to keypads and the impulse detectors like all the time. So like, please don't be that person that maxes out your Guild MK3. Just buy some of that shit because you'll need it eventually.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, somebody in my guild said that it's a bad conversion on those. I'm like, okay, so what do you spend it on? Like, that's
Yeah,
the most needed thing, right? So
of course it's a bad conversion. Those things are a pain in the ass to get. What are you gonna sit there and farm gear 12 plus pieces for 4 days just to get one gear to keypad? Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna use my Mark III raid currency.
Yeah, and I've tried to do that. The drop rates are terrible on those pieces.
Takes forever.
Dude, the fucking Chirotechs are insane. Which mark currency is it? Is it the second one?
Never do it. Don't do it.
No, I had never have. But I'm like, for five,
Yeah,
for fucking
yeah, it's the
five, it's
guild.
2,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Guild Mark II. It's terrible.
Like, who?
Honestly,
thought of that?
I do it, but I don't like it. I do it just because I'm like, man, I need so many of these. Like I know it's a bad conversion, but I'm like, man, I need them. I need them.
Speaking of the devil, we just got our payout for raid.
Like the Mark 7 Chirotech shock prod, I never need those because the node that I farm those
Really?
on is the same node that I farm ridiculously every day for
Salvage.
bronzium wiring. It's that same piece of gear that has the high value for bronzium wiring. And Avant, you know what node I'm talking about.
Yeah. Light side 7B.
Yeah, I'm on that daily on a like ridiculous. Like, I spend so much time in that fucking node.
Yeah, for me, it's the exact opposite of that. I always need the shock prod, so I have like, I don't know, I'm probably sitting on like 80,000 of those pieces that you're talking about.
See, that's the thing. The one piece of Chirotech, I always take care of that. The other piece, I try to keep my supply going in the store or anywhere else I can buy it, but so I can keep a steady supply of bronzium wiring because that is an issue.
Okay, please
Bronzium wiring
tell me
to
why
relic characters is an issue.
Please tell me why these earlier relic materials or whatever are more scarce than the ones that are later on. That's pissing me off. It's harder to convert those.
That is actually a very interesting question.
That's why they got rid of carbonite circuit boards and bronzium wirings for Relic 8 and Relic 9.
Yeah. But the problem is,
it's still tough just to go from 3
because people were like, Jesus.
But like the bronzium wiring you need for the first 4 relic levels are it's outrageous how much you need.
So I know the answer to this because I was calculating how much signal data I need and how much relic salvage I need for each of the Leia characters. To take a character from Relic 0 to Relic 7, you need 200 carbonite circuit boards, 220 bronzium wirings. I can't remember the other pieces, but I remember thinking 200 of each of those is like pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And they're hard
because
I do have the what's called infographic here in front of me if you want to know the numbers.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No,
So Are we talking Relic 7? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 200 carbonite, 220 bronzium, 140 chromium, 60 electrium, and or no, is that what that one
60
is?
heat
Rhodium
sinks.
heat sink. Yeah, yeah. And then 40 electrium, 10 Zimbidal, 115 of the gray signal data, 115 of the green, and 75 of the blue.
Yeah. I know this because I had Scout Trooper, Drogon, Nisa, and I unlocked Jedi Knight Cal. And so that was what, 4 characters, and I had enough to take 3 of them to Relic 7, and I was like mad because I want to take Jedi Cal to Relic 7, but I also know that I should just do Leia.
No,
Um,
I was gonna say, you want to see your resources dwindle. You hoard for a little while, and you didn't get Jedi Cal the first time, and then he comes out the second time, and you complete the event, and you've got all the resources, and you bring him from Gear 1 to Relic 8, which is what I did. That, man,
yeah.
I looked at my levels for relicking tunes after that and went, ouch, that fucking hurt. Like, that was one character I brought from Gear 1 to Relic 8 instantly, and that hurt.
And
That stung.
I'm more frustrated with my situation because I'll get the Leia requirements done, and then I could take Cal to Relic 7, or I could save those materials to take Leia to Relic 7.
Honestly,
It's just going to be like one thing after another.
you have the three Zetas on Cal?
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
For where you're at, I think he'll be fine. I honestly think you should finish Leia.
Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah, finish Leia and then make Cal like a side thing to get him to Relic 8.
I want Cal by the next Grand Arena so that I can counter Malgus without having to worry about it.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I've had to counter Malgus with so much other shit, and now I'm finally in a position where, oh yeah. But then again, this is now the second time Cal has been around, and the amount of people that are going to get him this time around is going to be ridiculous. There's going to be a lot more Cal players going on this time around.
Hey, just a second. Braves fan Tan, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Rated a party of 19. How's everybody going? I hope all is well.
19?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit. If you like talking Swigo, you came to the right place. Here we are.
Thank you guys for coming by. Hope all is well.
Hope all is well. Happy Halloween. Hang out with us. Give us a chance. We will try to entertain the shit out of you. There it is.
Send your Jar Jar questions in the chat. We'll answer them.
I don't want to know your fucking Jar Jar questions. Jesus Christ, Bob, you had to go there. Oh, I want some Barris questions.
But I guess now is the perfect time to say, while everyone's in here, if you guys like what you're seeing and you're having a good time, hit that fucking button. Hit the fucking button, people. Come on. It's not that hard.
Okay. Tell Bob to finally finish his Bad Batch.
If you guys hit the button, here the next 5 years, I will work on my Bad Batch. I'll even farm them to 7-star. Just do it, man.
Like, we're talking. No, listen, folks. You want to talk real? Here's real. All right. We're talking about a man whose roster is 8-9 million.
9.4, buddy. Now that I bought a couple packs recently.
9.4 million.
And
doesn't have Bad Batch.
And I still don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You should subscribe just to give him shit. That should literally be your purpose.
Don't
Like,
judge people.
not even subscribe. Just follow. Just hit the fucking follow button.
Actually, now that I think of it, unfollow if you're going to be giving me shit about Bad Batch. Don't even
No.
do it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even spend the time to
No.
do it.
That's okay. Soon there will be a Bad Batch pack, and then you can just buy them, eh?
I would
can't
rather
wait.
do that because I was talking in my stream today. I guess they're one of the most Cairo heavy teams in the entire game. When I heard that,
Actually, that would be a good pack for the
Inquisitors
Pyros one.
I think Inquisitors might have that mantle.
I don't know who was telling me, but they said with Omega, which I wouldn't do anyways, but with Omega and the other 4, it's 2,000 Cairo techs.
Really? Well, yeah. Inquisitors, including Grand Inquisitor, is 2,500.
Yep.
But the thing is, like, I think Bad Batch kind of marked the start of an era of the heavy Cairo teams.
Yeah,
Oh.
and they were all requiring Kairos, unfortunately.
And I think the Jedi Cal requirements are even higher than the Inquisitors too.
Yeah, but you only have to take them to Gear 12, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
But
So
yeah.
you take out 100 on each of the finisher pieces.
But yeah, I was being all optimistic, showing the stream my projects, and at the bottom I was like, yeah, so here's Bad Batch, and then I was crafting where someone's like, yeah, it takes like 1,600 Cairo techs to do it. I was like, well, they won't be getting done anytime soon.
Yeah, that's not going to help you out very much.
Fuck no. The Inquisitors were hard. Those Inquisitors took a piece of my soul. I will not ever want to do something like that again. So Bad
The
Batch.
guild
give me the pack.
appreciates your sacrifice for Inquisitors.
Bob. At 11.almost 9 million, I use my Bad Batch in almost every GAC. No. Like, you need to stop fucking around and you need to get it done.
No.
You need to stop.
Dude, you know how hard it is for me just to take my my slacker from gear 11 to 12 right now?
Dude, do you know how hard it is for us, Avant and I, and other people in the Scoundrel family, when you post on Discord what beats this, and we all have to say, what, Avant?
Bad Batch.
Thank you.
But what happens when I have Bad Batch and I've already used Bad Batch? What's your guys' new answer? Because I had Bad Batch, I used them now, so now what's the counter?
It's been a hot minute and there's still no answer. Like, you will use your Bad Batch every GAC. If your Echo is fast enough and your Bad Batch are decently modded, they will do work for you. At Swamp, like, tell me I'm wrong.
Unfortunately, I also don't have Bad Batch on either of my accounts, but
No,
it's just they're
fuck me,
pricey. They're pricey.
And in
I
spite
would love to have
Swamp,
them.
keep it up. Don't work on them. In spite of everybody.
I would love to have them. So CG, if you're listening, next pack, let's go Bad Batch, Inquisitors. I'd be down for that. Thank you.
I'd pay $20 just. I mean, throw Omega in there, I guess. Even though I don't need her, still complete the team. I'd do $20 for it. You know, that's half of the LV. Not half.
See, look what
Or
CG has
also,
done. They've created a pool of spenders now. Like,
That's not much.
Yeah,
to
I was
spend.
already
I'll
a spender
starve for-
myself, but
Oh, were you Swamp? I didn't know that. You spent some.
yeah, I don't like not like I wouldn't consider myself a regular spender, but at least once or twice a year I'll, buy something I like. Actually, sometimes I do it on stream too, because like I don't know, I kind of like gambling, and if I'm feeling a little rich and people send in a little bit of donations, then we'll gamble on one of the marquees or something like that.
Have you ever got a big hit on one?
No, well, actually, long time ago, back when Karth was a marquee, I hit 330 on him.
Yeah, I'll buy like one or two. 'Cause that's all I can afford with my crystals, just to see if I
feel
can
like-
get that hit.
I feel like such a whore.
Hey, you're
I
an
s-
expensive whore, so at least you have that.
you know what? I am a high class whore.
Exactly.
No, I am an escort.
I'll be right back,
That's
guys.
what I spend. I do. I spend. I wailed. I have GL Leia. I've got all the toys. I'm like literally at this point, and again, yacht problems. But for those that may be listening that have yacht problems, it's it's odd. Like I've got Leia, I just got Cal, so now I'm kind of back into complete hoarding mode, where the new Bo-Katan is coming, and I haven't wailed out on the new Mando yet because I'm just really, and again, it's back to what we talked about earlier. I'm really skeptical about what CG is selling. Like it's like, really, you want more of my money to buy a very potentially unfinished product that could need
Logan.
fixes?
Logan, you want to go home and rethink your life.
You don't want to sell me Death Sticks.
But yeah, I want to say, like you said that, like almost with a bit of shame. I think there's no shame in that. Like if I could afford to spend that way, I totally would. I love this game, and I would do the same if I could afford it. So no shame in that.
I agree with you, Swamp. I would too. We just like to give him shit because he acts like he has problems sometimes, and we're like, you can't even talk. Don't complain.
And it is, Swamp, it is so hard sometimes to be on this show and be like, so guys, I'm having this problem. You know what I get? Oh, yeah, you and your fucking...
Here we go again, rolling our eyes.
Yeah, who's cooking your dinner, motherfucker? Another servant on your yacht? And I'm just like, wow, dude, like, I've got a legit issue. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to get my fucking balls broken. All right,
Can
cool,
you believe
whatever.
that the waiter on my yacht forgot to put caviar on my toast this morning?
Go fuck yourself. Good night. And this is the shit I deal with.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy. Remember Cubs fan Han? He used to have this segment, Whale Chat, where he had some of the big whales in the game come on and chat about whaley stuff. It was kind of fun to listen to.
No, I remember that. That was always a good time to listen to, and it had a lot of good views on the game and stuff at the time. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the...
And he used to make the whales say how much money they spent, and it was always like
True.
a staggering amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like,
Wasn't it like
oh
6
my
figures?
God.
Like some people were spending 6 figures, I think. Like
I think all the whales that came on there were each over $100,000. So yeah.
I honestly have to say the last time I checked was just trying to make sure my wife isn't... My wife's not in earshot.
I'm actually ready to hear this.
By the way, for those of you, successful marriage, have separate fucking bank accounts. Like your money is your money, her money is her money. As long as the bills are paid, she can't say shit. That's the way to do it. Anywho,
I still want to hear the amount.
I know about...
I looked mine up.
About 3 or 4 years ago, my son and I actually did a tally. And at that point, and this was 3 or 4 years ago, I haven't done it since, but 3 or 4 years ago, I was over 15K.
I'm just glad he didn't say
So
like 60 or something.
At this point, I'm honestly going to say I'm probably at 40K since this game came out. Probably about $40,000.
I mean, that's whale. That's a whale status. Just please don't spend 100K in a year, okay?
No, those that like I don't even understand how that's possible. Like I don't have a lot of tunes that are not relic. I like those that spent that much. I don't like, where are you putting it? Are you... Again, there's other things, mods and
Do you
shit.
think they're inflating their costs a little bit to sound cool, to sound more whaley?
I think those like mega krakens that are up at those numbers, what they do is they hoard all their energy so that they have a massive stockpile of energy for when a new GL comes out, and then they just use crystals for everything. So it's like a vault, another vault, another vault. Like,
yeah,
I think that's kind of how it goes with those guys.
Yeah, like 100% honest, I didn't unlock GL Leia first day. I didn't have the energy saved up. I wailed on all the tunes. I got all the requirements done, but I was the schlep that was, okay, I gotta wait. I gotta do the missions and get tickets and do all that shit. I had to do all that. I don't do the whole hoard energy and spend that. Like, I don't do that.
Well, I would want to watch people lose tickets and figure out how to not lose tickets. Like you don't want to be on Arnold T's stream where he's like going in and just gets wiped out, and you're like, all right, well, there goes 60 tickets.
And dude, those whaler fails, that shit adds up, man. You could spend up to $800 a character from 7-star them and all the gear, and then the relic them to 7. That could be close to $1,000 a character.
But you know what? I did that. There was something about the way they were selling GL Leia that made me go, I can't sleep on this. Like, this is something I just have to have. Like, there's some things in this game, like there's packs in this game and things that I look at and go, no, that's where I'm at in the game. That's not going to benefit me. But there are some packs that pop up in the game or some things that they do that, yeah, I will spend money on. And as a whale, it's funny. Like, some people think whales just buy everything. That's actually not the case. We are smart. We are frugal. We do look at the packs and look at percentages. There are some packs that are gambling packs that I will every now and again roll the dice on and go, okay, if it hits, great, I made out. If it doesn't, at least I'm getting something. So, but, and again, I blame Pico Burrito. Drogon came out. He was on the episode. He really looked at Drogon's kit, and after the show ended, I dropped the 300 or so bucks and I wailed on him. I went, dude, you sold me. Drogon's going to be amazing, and Leia's going to be amazing. And you know what? I'm not sad about it. I've won quite a few, well, more than quite I've won quite a few JACs because I have Leia and my opponent doesn't.
Yeah.
So for right now, it's worked out. So again, pay to win. I paid. I'm winning. It's working. But for whales, again, it's not like we buy everything. We are frugal. We do look at certain packs and certain things and go, all right, that's going to benefit me. Like, for the typical whale, you have Leia, you have Cal, you have everything. At this point, what whales are going to spend their money on are packs for Gear 12 Plus, signal data, to make sure that when the next greatest thing comes out, if we whale for it, we can bring it to relics immediately. That's what we look at. Like the new Mandalorian.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Like the new Mandalorian. I could drop the $300 right now and do the whaler fail. And I still have enough resources because I buy resource packs. I buy stuff for relics. I farm signal data daily. If I unlock a character at 7-star, more than likely, I'm going to be able to bring him to relics and put him where I need him to be almost immediately.
It is, after all, a resource management game.
Exactly. And for whales, it's not unlocking the character, it's their progression and getting them to where you want them. It's the money that we spend is on getting them to 7-star. After that, we have those resources. We have them. That's why when I unlocked Jedi Cal, I went, well, fuck, I'll bring him to Relic 8. It hurt, but I'm still sitting at over 300 bronzium wiring. I'm still sitting on well over 200 pieces of signal data on each category. So it's just a question of buying them to 7-star. So we are frugal. It's just we put our money in different places because of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. For me, the last marquee that I spent on like in that, like I was saying, how sometimes I'll gamble on stream with the marquees. Actually, I call that whale or flounder. Kind of, a little bit more of a play on words compared to, because it still means fail, but
It does. It does.
it's
I
a
like,
fish, just like the whale, right? So yeah.
Yep.
I
Anyways,
like it. I like it.
No, I like that. I like that.
but yeah, it was chrysanthemum. I didn't do $300. I threw like 120 or something at it, but I really enjoyed that because I got him to 5-star from that, and I have a pretty reasonable investment in my bounty hunters, and also that gave me, I think, like 8 Omicron pieces total because you get. I got 5 from the whatever $20 pack, and
Yep.
then 3 from the bonus tier of the event. So I was like, okay, that's a good value right there. Like, maybe I spent much, but I got another bounty hunter I can kind of sort of use at 5-star. He was fine to some degree, and a bunch of Omicron mats. So it was a good time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to whale on croissant as well. That was probably the one time I wanted to spend money on it. I'm broke, so I couldn't. But yeah, croissant was awesome. Then they had Bush Leia, and then they had Skiff Guard Lando. Those were some pretty cool characters.
Yeah, I like any character who's SG by their initials.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't have.
And
Fair
that's
enough.
why, honestly, I am. I'm probably gonna whale out on the new Mandalorian. I mean, the pack is there for another 22 days, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get him to 7-star. My and again, whale problems on the deck of my yacht because I don't know where this Bo-Katan character is going to go, and I don't know the kits of the other tunes. It is a Mando. It is a really good character. It does damage. Because it's a tank and it's built for survivability, I'm in this weird place that do I just want to put him to fucking Relic 9? Like, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to just do it and put it to Relic 9 and be like, here is this unstoppable fucking wall that I'm going to put in front of you that does damage. But I'm hesitant because CG doesn't test their shit.
But you're a whale, and you have to have the newest toy. Have you?
It doesn't mean
have
I
you ever
put it at
waited?
Relic 9.
When's
Doesn't mean I put it at Relic 9.
When's the last time you didn't whale on the newest meta, aka the newest characters for the newest?
The
fact that it's taking this long is concerning.
I would honestly say when Jedi Master Kenobi and Lord Vader hit, I don't know. I wasn't.
R.I.P. to your wallet. I thought you were going to say back when Baze and Malbus or Baze and Charut came into the game. I was like, damn.
I was always a spender, but I wasn't the spender that I am now until like literally like a year ago. Like I would buy some packs here and there. I got heavily more into spending just over the past year. I mean, people's lives changed. I got married. I have a really good job. I have I hate to say it, yacht, but I have a disposable income. I budget myself. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. This is a hobby. This is something I like to do. It's better than doing lines of coke off a hooker's ass. I justify it that way. So
Nowadays it is. Back in the day, it wasn't.
So it's that thing. And again, I love meeting people in the community. I love meeting people like SwampGrass. I love doing the show with you guys, and that's another thing. I've been meaning to ask you, and kind of reflective of what I've been saying. I have this thing where I like staying in Kyber 1. And I feel like I'm chasing that, but I have noticed that it's getting more expensive to chase it, and maybe I just need to accept my fate that with the squish, I need to be like, well, I'm just going to be in Kyber 2 and let those that
Just
sit
come
on
hang
their
out with me.
couch a lot more than I do.
Come hang out with me at the top of Kyber 2.
Yeah. So
I know quite a few people that left the game because of that reason. They like the competitive aspect of so you guys know Yeti, right? Swigga Yeti he used to be a
Yeah.
Swigga
Yeah.
streamer. That's why
Yep.
he quit, is because he bought a very, very nice account and was competing at the top 100 of Kyber for a while, but without spending all the time, you just can't, right? And that's when they added the Mac 10s, the recalibrations. He's like, great, another thing to spend on. Like, it just
Yeah.
widens the gap, right? So he quit right then and there. Mac
No,
10s was the last straw for him.
I totally agree. In fact, somebody in chat just said, Artemis, eventually no one will be in Kyber 1. And I mean, sarcastically, there's some truth to that, but obviously there's not. There's always going to be a Kyber 1. But as it keeps getting condensed, it's coming to the point that if you want to get the crystal income that you expect, you have to continue to spend. And is it worth it?
Is it worth the extra 20 crystals a day? No.
Yeah. And I'm kind of getting to that point where, I mean, I'm still going to spend. I'm still going to buy the regular packs that I get every day that I think are good value, but I don't know. It's gotten to the point where the squish is a real thing, and it's getting harder and harder to stay in Kyber 1, like ridiculously harder. Like the past I think 3 rounds, I've not been able to full clear my opponent because the defenses, because of the amount of teams we have that would require a GL or has to be beaten by a GL, is becoming outrageous.
Well, if it'll make you happier, every once in a while I'll come up and be your jester for the day, but only for the day, because I'm the jester of Kyber 2. So come on, hang out with everybody. All your friends are there. Like I said, I'm not always there, but I pop up for a match. I've lost every time. I say hello to you guys. I do a little jester dance, and I leave. Because I look like a fucking fool every time, because I just get smoked. And I didn't even know I was in Kyber 2 today. I was in Kyber 2, and I didn't know it. And I got demoted. I lost again.
Oh, you went to 3?
Well, so I went 3-0 last match. I didn't realize it, but I went up to Kyber 2. So this is the first match in Kyber 2. This is my 6th time of this happening, and every time I've lost. I have not once won in Kyber 2. So I got knocked out to 3 today.
I do dislike that they changed it, that you can change your league can change midweek. So, like for you, you're now battling Kyber 2 opponents for the rest of the week and earning Kyber 3 rewards, right?
Yeah, isn't that bullshit? I agree.
Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks.
You should not be able to get knocked down until it finishes. Like maybe accumulate
And
your skill.
that's
but
how
don't
it was
change it.
originally, but they changed it too, right? So it was like that, and then they're like, no. Yeah. Anyways, not a big fan.
It's funny. I actually, for some reason, I looked at the guild that I'm in, and I looked at, because when you look at your guild, you can see from the top who has the top amount of GP all the way down to the bottom. You can also see where they are in GAC, and I'm thinking, all right, everyone else is in Kyber 1. No, I'm seeing guys at like 11.5 million in Kyber 3. I'm seeing guys in, 10.5 in Kyber 2. And, I'm just going, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't imagine those that are in the lower ends of Kyber and then all of a sudden they get matched up and they're at like 9 million and they get matched up against somebody that's at 11.5. Like, what the fuck do you even do?
Even more extreme at the lower ends. Now, this is people that are not great at GAC, or they don't necessarily play GAC, but a lot of people will come into the swamp. They're like at barely a million fighting somebody that's 10 million. Pretty crazy.
So,
yeah, Carbonite,
There's 5
Bronzium.
GL, 5 GL opponents every day
they're
for people.
$1 million and they're fighting someone at 10 million?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. My alt account used to always only fight people with double GP. That was like a steady thing for quite a while, but now that I bought those packs, it's not a not a thing anymore.
I know.
You're looking
But,
at a game mode.
That shouldn't even be allowed.
Listen, Logan,
You're
I know
looking
you,
at a
you
game
and your
mode.
friends, you and your yacht club aren't used to hanging out with peasants down in Carbonite. But yeah, I'm always talking to people, and it's true.
Yeah.
They're always facing like 5+ GLs in Carbonite and Erodium, and that
Is
should not be
that,
allowed.
is that a case of people that just tank on purpose?
Or they
No,
don't
I
care
think they
about
just
GAC.
tank. Like, I don't think they're tanking to win. I think they're tanking because they don't care.
But they
and
attack.
just
They'll still fight you, which is weird.
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. So
So
you're looking.
if you've got somebody by 4 million GP, those are free crystals.
You're looking at a game mode that hasn't been overhauled in how many years, other than CG releasing datacrons to make the meta like a little bit different as time passes.
It
So-
should not be based on skill level. It should be based on GP.
I agree with that to a certain extent, but one of the best things that CG did was removing the GP gates, because there were so many people that were like, I'm not going to gear up this faction because I don't want to get bumped into the next tier. Like, I don't want to be in that tier with people of higher GP. So I'm going to avoid gearing up characters, which to me was always so stupid.
But there has to be something. There has to be where you can't fall any farther. I don't know how they do that, or I'd be a program guy. But there has to be, and also like it needs to take effect like how many GLs you have. At the same time, I know you have to stay in the system. There has to be a middle where don't go by GP, but go by you know how many GLs people have or something, because that's what makes the difference.
I don't even think that. I think it should be on GP level, and depending on.
But then you have bloat. Bloat comes into play, and that's a huge disadvantage. When it comes to just GP, you now have to be more efficient than your opponent.
If you're matched up against people that are similar GP than you, then you're facing people that were just better at resource management.
No, you get punished for going for the wrong characters, and your opponent going for the right ones. Because
and also that's the thing with the old system. My accounts were very lean because they needed to be competitive. But as soon as that wasn't a thing, I bloated as much as I could to help the guild in territory battles. So essentially, if they went back, that would be a pretty big injustice to me personally.
Yeah, and it makes it more fun because you don't feel like you're going to punish yourself for going something for fun, like we were talking earlier. You can now freely farm whatever you want.
You could be in a guild that's very TW heavy and inflate your roster that way, and then all of a sudden you get into GAC and you're like, oh shit.
So I got to call it Crafting Way. He says pure GP isn't a flaw. If you made a shit roster compared to your opponent, then that's your fault. Says the person who's been playing for maybe 2 years and bought or inherited a 7 GL account. Sorry, bud. If you haven't put in the time, I can't listen to that one.
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Check, fire, freeze, relocate. Crafting Way inherited what?
A 6, maybe it was 6, but it was some insane. When I met him,
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, you're fine, bud.
Right.
When I met him not too long ago, he came in and he was just starting the game. So I'm in here helping him, right? And like a couple weeks later, he's like, yeah. So I don't know if he bought it or inherited it, whatever. 6 GL account, and I'm like, what? So fast forward 6 to 8 months later, he's telling me how to play the game.
6 million, motherfucker. All right.
6 GLs, and I have 3. But anyway,
No,
so if anyone wants to give me their 7 GL account, thinking about quitting, or you want me to babysit it till you come back, let me know. Let's start.
Bob, you want my account for a month?
Yeah, I'll trade you.
No.
You have to whale on mine, and I'll free to play yours.
No, I'm sitting on over 12,000 crystals. No, you're not getting my account.
Hey, what do you think about letting me play GAC every once in a while on stream? Like on here. Let me do it.
On mine?
Yeah.
No.
We'll stream it, and I'll take control of it. Come on, everybody, get it going. You know, you guys want me to
You
play.
wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I would.
Oh,
That would be no different than his streams.
The Force is with me. I am one with the
doesn't
Force.
happen.
What?
That is his mantra during stream. That's true.
It's so funny. I have the computer to stream now, but I'm like, man, I don't want to come home from work and fucking do GAC. I really don't. Like, I do GAC on my own time. I pick at it. And I play it throughout the day. You know, I do a battle here and there. Like I don't sit and do it all at once. It's fucking weird. I'm just
You're weird. No one does it like that. How boring.
do it like
It's fun.
my
Sit down
record.
and hang out with us and do it. You and me can do a stream. I'll do mine, you do yours, or vice versa. Remember the old days when we used to do it with King? It was fun.
Hold on. Crafting Way just threw a paragraph out there. What did he say?
He says his statement stands. If you build a garbage roster compared to your similar GP opponent, then you just deserve to lose. Me going against 11 million GP opponents with my roster is just stupid, period. But here's my thing. There's people who enjoy the game, who enjoy Grand Arena, but they play the game differently. We all know Dark Gnar. He has 5 million GP. Guess what? He doesn't have 1 GL at 5 million. That's not his fault. He's playing it how he wants, but he should get punished for that?
Wait a minute. Dark Gnar doesn't have 1 GL?
He has Executor. He's working on his first GL now, I believe. No, he's working on Inquisitors. And then, well, Crafting Way got, because he's working on Inquisitors, Crafting Way got Gnar into an in-game guild.
Did Dark Gnar not get the memo about the packs?
Maybe he got those, but I don't think they're unlocked or anything yet. I don't know. He's not in here, so. But I don't think he has. Right now, as it stands, he's at 5 million. No, because he just likes to 7-star everything, his whole roster. He likes to bring the entire roster up. Is that efficient? No. We all tell him that is not the way to do it, but he says every time it's fine. That's how he likes to play. So I don't think you deserve to get your ass kicked because you play the way you do. So I do agree with the rating system where if you win more, you get harder opponents. I don't hate that, but I think there should be a limit to where these huge accounts can fall, because that takes away from the fun from, you want to get these beginners in and having fun, right? Well, as soon as you start playing Grand Arena and you're just fighting these players who are fucking insanely above you, that's not fun. And they don't deserve or should even be that far down, whether they mean to or not. That's the only flaw, is getting these huge accounts falling way too far. You know what? Don't act like that when I'm talking. I have to listen to you guys for 2 hours. I can rant out for a while. I see. It's like when the Chiefs come up, when we do our football podcast. The Steelers get their ass kicked, and we listen for 45 minutes about this and that. The Chiefs beat everyone's ass for the last 5 weeks. When the Chiefs come up,
he doesn't want to hear about the fucking Chiefs.
Start rolling their eyes. Him and the Sturm start rolling their eyes, and like, here we go.
That shit. Look at him. He's like, no. I want. Do you want to hear about Travis Kelce? Yeah, no, he's no.
You don't want to hear about Matt Canada either.
He's more of a Swiftie.
Who fucking cares about Travis Kelce? It's about Taylor Swift. That's all we care about. Okay? At least it's off Jackson Mahomes.
All right, so before we get into Swampgrass is back, so last question, and I thought this was kind of important, and we'll get into viewer questions right after this. These packs and everything CG is doing, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing more packs like this. I think with the money that CG made, this is going to be kind of a new trend of trying to get players caught up and a mechanic for newer players to want to engage. That being said, are these packs and what CG is doing, I feel like this is specifically targeted at free-to-play to try to break free-to-play.
We already talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah, we already talked about that. I swear. Didn't we? Am I wrong?
We did, yes.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest takeaways I got from that was a cool thing that Avant said, which was he could see them moving it into the journey guide as a permanent thing, and I think that would be a very smart move by CG, because it It's kind of the same idea as those uh, Journey Guide mega packs that they had for a while, which by the way
Yeah.
got nerfed. They got nerfed in case anybody didn't know about these packs. They used to be really, really solid. But yeah, it would be kind of like that, except for money instead of crystals. So yeah, I could see that.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I brought this fucking topic up again. I apologize.
Didn't you want to talk
Thought it
about
was-
territory wars, or was that some other thing that I read? I thought we were talking about how we could fix territory wars or something. Anyways, let's not get into that.
No, I think I'd mentioned something about there was if there was a game mode that could really be fixed.
Yeah, I think that's in the viewer questions.
All right,
Yeah,
let's,
that's in the
let's go
view.
on to that because we've been on here for
Let's get to that before
Yeah,
I
we-
sweat through these Jedi robes.
Now you know how I feel back here every night in these lights.
Okay. First question this week is from some guy named Bones. What's the one guilty pleasure movie or show that you watch that you're afraid to admit to the homies that you like, even though it could possibly revoke your man card, i.e., chick flick, reality show, etc.?
None.
Come on, don't
I-
lie.
I
You're
don't-
not that manly.
No, sorry. My missus watches the Kardashians and Jersey Shore and Big Brother, and I come up here and I stream Dark Souls games. That's what I do.
But he can't stream
So-
Gak.
I don't know if this qualifies. I don't really watch these shows, but usually my wife will watch all those Real Housewives shows, and I just pretty much tune out. But every once in a while, I will peek over and be like, "What the hell is happening? What are they talking
You're
about?"
telling me you're watching a show that you're rolling your eyes at the first episode, and by episode 4, you're asking your wife, "So what's going on? Why is she doing this?" And you
Or
don't get into it.
if there's any guilty pleasure, and I don't even think this is like a guilty pleasure, I think it's just funnier than hell. I watch Trailer Park Boys.
No, I mean,
I've
that's
seen
not,
every episode.
That's all.
I've
you
seen
should-
That's some
every
as a
good
man-
Canadian content right there.
As a man,
Oh, that's
you should be
amazing.
watching that.
Yeah.
Gavin
that's-
Stunt Double in chat says this podcast.
You know what? You can go fuck yourself.
Logan, I'm gonna call you old Mr. Piss Jugs. All right, that's your new name.
This podcast. Fuck you.
Swamp. What about you, buddy? You got any
We
guilty
appreciate we appreciate
so-
your
So the thing for me is like I just don't feel shame about any of it. I'll be like, yeah, I was watching that new Young Jedi show and like I just don't feel ashamed of it at all. So yeah, I don't know, like
All right, that's a decent
don't
one.
really
That's one that
yeah, don't really.
I don't want to hear another manly show that you watch just to sound more manly, Logan. Is
I watch a lot of gangster shows.
Goodfellas on repeat and Casino. That's it, and maybe The Godfather.
What about you, Bones?
Yeah, I won't deny it. Like, Alex, all she watches is fucking reality shows. And I hate every reality show. I'll sit there and bitch about it. But every fucking one, no matter how stupid it is, like I just said to you guys, 4 episodes in, I'm fucking like, oh, fuck that bitch, or I'm glad that they said that to her, or whatever. I'm watching Bad Girls Club. I'm watching 90 Day Fiance. I know them all because that's all Alex watches. So I can't help but get into them, and I ended up doing it. And then I'm like, all right, I can't wait till next season. She watches the fuck. I don't really watch the Kardashians because they are really annoying, and they're so rich and they act like they have problems. So that I can't really get into, but that's about it. She'll get some like
The dumb stuff is so entertaining, right?
yeah, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself, even if they're more rich than you. It's like wow, I don't feel so bad about myself anymore. Especially like those Bachelor shows. Like,
Oh.
come on,
Those-
people.
Oh,
fucking things.
Have
Jesus
some-
they
Christ.
got a new one. They got a new one coming out with old people. Have you seen that?
Dude,
The
yeah.
golden
And
bachelor.
what they give?
Golden Bachelor. And
Oh, yeah.
they said this. They're like, they're older, they're grayer, they're something else. I was like, there's some things people should just say no
more
to.
wrinkly.
Yeah, like just say no because they're sitting here making fun of you pretty much. I would say no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But,
All right, what's the next question? This fucking conversation.
The next question is from Pico Burrito. Braveheart, inspiring war movie or secret chick flick?
Oh, damn. You know,
well, there's nothing sexier than Mel Gibson, so it's a chick flick.
that was gay, but okay. Um, I'm gonna say hero action flick. I understand where Pico's going. You know, he seduces the queen and all that. It's very romantic, and the first part of it, and of course, the cinematography of that movie was absolutely outstanding. But yeah, I'm gonna go with action hero.
Yeah, I remember like growing up, me and my buddies used to watch that quite a bit, but because each of us had already seen it, we would just fast forward till all the action stuff and it was way better.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what if I told you I haven't seen Braveheart for no reason at all?
Oh my.
Then we would ask you why, and where did you just get out of your time capsule?
Because I've been keeping up with the Kardashians, man. It's a busy life. I'm trying to keep up with them.
Priorities, right?
Yeah.
And we need to really readjust where your man card is.
I said even if it revokes it, you gotta say it, man. And mine was revoked a long fucking time ago. A long time ago.
My answer is definitely not a chick flick. Braveheart is not a chick flick.
Is there gore in it? Like lots of blood?
Oh my
No,
God.
the battles are actually kind of if you like were to like zoom your eyes in on the background, there's a lot of people like this with a
Yeah,
stick
literally
in their
like
hand.
it. Tend to hit you. Yep.
There is some degree of gore though.
But it is good, right? Like I should go and watch it because I need to. I just never did.
Maybe we someone suggested in chat, maybe we do a stream where you watch Braveheart.
Avoris, if you want me to wail, you guys better start donating by the droves. Because I might go sell some ass later. There's
Yeah,
some.
we need more subscribers, apparently.
Please don't make me do things I don't want to, but I will for the right character.
Or
Anyways,
he's a whore.
All right.
Alright,
Yeah, back in those days, you didn't need gore. They left a little bit to the imagination, right?
and it was
That's
better.
true.
It was better
That's
that way.
true.
Yeah, I agree.
Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the
Yeah.
Lambs. Not one drop of blood. Just pure imagination, right?
Scary fucking
Pretty
movie.
much.
Yep. And if
Next
I'm gonna sell some
question.
ass, I need some customers, so y'all better start paying up.
The next question is from Garuka. I had 3 GLs when the packs came out. I will have Slicker and Ray in a while. Will GAC be easier for me now? Or will it be harder as lots and lots of players also have Ray and Slicker?
I mean, that kind of evens it out, doesn't it? I mean, it also depends on your mods. It depends on your skill level and your knowledge of the kits, which means I'll get worse because of that reason. But it really does come into play with that. But I mean, it's probably going to be even. But it depends how fast you get rid, or some of you spending money to level them up. I'm still working on Slacker. I just unlocked them. I don't even have Ray yet. So people thought, oh, we're going to buy this and we're instantly going to get them. It's still a long fucking process.
I feel like those that bought the pack are going to get thrusted into GAC matches with other people that did the same thing.
Yeah, it'll probably be all the same.
You're gonna be looking at GL Ray with 2 Zetas, Relic 2, and it's gonna be a mess for a while.
You're gonna throw a Star Destroyer on it. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, you're gonna Star Killer it. That's it.
I'm sorry if you're watching live or on YouTube. It looks like Avant went from Jedi Knight to strange guy in a robe.
I did. I was sweating through that cloak. It had to come off. I'm all tunic right now.
He's in karate
Went
class.
from Jedi Knight to a gym instructor.
Anyway.
That's no moon.
He's a karate. He's Johnny Lawrence. He's a karate teacher.
Old
Next question
Johnny
is
Mathis.
from I'm just gonna ignore you and cut you off and just keep rooting. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's how you get your word in around here. So that's fine.
Hold on,
Next
I did have something with that last question. What was it again? The question?
About buying GLs. Will GAC be
Oh yeah.
harder?
I was gonna say for the people that like myself had already got those characters and you're like feeling kind of upset that other people are gonna have it super easy, at least for a while, you know. Like for me, my Ray is very mature compared to all those brand new Rays, so I think there's that factor too, right?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
for me,
For sure.
people fail with Star Killer on my Ray constantly.
Yeah, because you got to know
And-
more about it, the knowledge and the way you use it, and you perfected your mods and your teams
And
and everything else.
and that's another thing. I told my son that because he bought all the packs and he was all concerned about Ray's Ultimate, and I went, buddy, I wouldn't over. I mean, yeah, Ray's Ultimate is awesome, but I wouldn't worry about it too much because her sudden whirlwind, you're
Oh,
you're gonna fucking destroy some people. So
yeah.
I Ray's Ultimate is great to have, but right now where you're at, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah, and it might make people think they can bring less, right? I found that in Territory Wars when I first got Ray, like having her without the ultimate on defense, it got like 11 or 12 holds because people are probably trying to gas it or whatever.
Yep. And that's the thing. If she keeps doing that whirlwind and just eliminating people, it's almost as deadly.
Mhm.
All right, next question.
Next question was from Bones again.
No,
Favorite movie, not counting Star Wars.
It's an easy one. That's fun. Who's first?
Go ahead, Logan.
I gave mine already. That was in chat. It was either John Carpenter's 1982 version of The Thing,
Oh yeah.
or There Will Be Blood by Daniel Day-Lewis, which was just one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen in my life.
What about you, Swamp?
Yeah, for me it changes a lot, but I'm gonna go with like my classic favorite that for a long time was always my favorite is Brotherhood of the Wolves. It's a French movie,
Right
but it's
movie.
very good.
Yep. I've seen that. Yeah.
I'll have to check it
Gooder.
out.
I think for me, it's like a nostalgic movie and a movie that whenever it's on, I will like just kind of watch part of it. Maybe not all of it because it's long when they play it on TV, but the original Matrix is
Mm,
pretty excellent.
Dude, that's a cinema gold, man. Yeah, I remember.
1999. That movie is 1999.
All right.
Like,
It's amazing how old that is.
like way before its time.
I know. It was.
Every,
It was.
every time I hear a song from that era, they always have these like certain sound effects in it, and it always reminds me of The Matrix.
Yeah.
Same, yeah, and like people were blown away by like the effects, like when he went backwards and stuff. Like for some,
Oh, that was all revolutionary, right? They
Yeah.
spent a lot of money creating those technologies.
yeah, and it was minds were blown, and it still lives up to this day. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it'll make you think a bit. Because
What about you, Bones? What's your answer?
God, I mean, I want to say two, like epic movies where epic shit happens. Infinity War, Marvel's Infinity War. But if you want to get away from like the superhero Star Wars stuff, this is gonna sound lame, but this is the one movie that I can just watch over and over again, go to sleep to. A Knight's Tale. I fucking love A Knight's Tale. I don't know why,
All right.
but it's a great movie.
The Getter. It's a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was more epic than that. But that's just the one I can watch all the way through over and over again.
It's a fun movie to watch. I've seen it. It's I didn't leave the movie going, oh, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
was-
right.
right.
It's not too epic or anything, but it's got some good jousting and
Yeah.
a good story, and it's got modern
Yeah.
day music. Strange enough but it works.
And Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did a great job in that movie.
Actually,
He did.
you have two
Did.
Star Wars people. You have the red haired guy played the robot K2SO, or not Star Wars.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk, and then you have
Hey,
Vision.
yep.
Vision is in there. What's the
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany? Was he in any Star Wars? I don't think he was.
Yeah, he was in Solo.
Paul Bettany was?
Yeah, it was at the end. The guy with the weird fucking lightsaber
Okay.
hand. That was Paul Bettany.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Yeah.
Dryden Voss.
And and they also, well, of course, Heath Ledger, which everyone loves, but then also the fat guy. I met him one time on the set of
That guy. You want to be a little more specific?
I don't. There were the three people that he had: the Tudyk, Bettany, and then there was the fat guy, and he played.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you watched Game of Thrones in season 1, he was like the king. I can't remember what his name was either. Robert Baratheon. Thank you.
Robert Baratheon. You mean the guy from the Full Monty?
Be more specific. That guy. I haven't seen the Full Monty in years. Is that where they show his dick at the end and it's huge?
No, they do not. No, that's Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
That's Mark
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
Why are you thinking about a big dick at the end? Can we go to the next question, please?
Why does all the answers end with me saying something super gay?
I don't know.
Last one about a big dick. So Avant, please take it away to the next.
Next question is from Early Archaic, who is actually in the guild that my guild faced in the last territory war. So
cool, yeah.
Shout out to Early Archaic for joining the server after noticing my name and Bones' name in the TW. So
not to mention that he listens to the show. But he'd never been part of the Discord or reached out or anything. He saw our names and he killed my General Grievous with Bad Batch just to be funny, which I thought was pretty. Cool. That was pretty.
Which
funny.
is amazing.
Well, there was a reason for that.
It was because you don't have the Omicron.
That's right.
Well,
the anti-Bad Batch
Omicron.
Early Archaic's question is, I think we can agree that TW in its current form is a deeply flawed game mode. Matchmaking issues, large number of teams per zone, time zone differences within guilds, mediocre rewards, etc. Would CG be better off to retool TW significantly or scrap it completely and come out with a new guild-based PvP mode, assuming they can find a way for TW Omicrons to fit into that mode?
You know, I don't think they can scrap it just because of the resources that the winner gets for that. How they would retool it, like I don't know. Like some of the things that I've thought of just bring us back to the same problem, such as, you know, if you had, depending on who you're matched up with, say you had a zone where Inquisitors have a bonus, or Galactic Republic Jedi have a bonus, or Jabba has a bonus, something to make it fresh or different. But it brings you back to the same problem of some guilds are going to have more investment in teams than other guilds. And like, I don't know. How do you rebuild a game mode that has become stale without alienating other guilds?
I don't think you
do that. How do you do that universally? I don't think you can scrap it.
No, I think that the two easy ways that you could at least freshen it up are to change the map or the board by reducing the number of squads and like maybe changing the shape so that there's like more pathways, so that if you get to a wall and you're like, I don't want to deal with that, you can start with something else.
Yeah, with less less squads per sector, that'd be nice.
Yeah, or like they tried the bonuses, the faction bonuses, or like omitting characters from TW, and the player base was like, oh, don't do that, we hate this. And so they're not going to do something like that again.
But you could have where every sector, more sectors, and every sector has a certain bonus, maybe for healers or attackers or certain squads or, you know, scoundrels. And that would kind of make people and you could change that up every couple months, every 2 to 3 months. and
Like,
Let me
changing it
put.
around.
that's all well and good, but with the matchmaking system that they have, like anybody that does TW, you win a couple, you lose a couple. You
Yeah.
have some matches that you're like, oh my god, this is a win. We got it.
If
Then you hit a brick
if
wall. Oh shit.
if you're trying, you're gonna win half your matchups.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: would you be interested in a TW with no Galactic Legends?
Yes. Yeah. I think that would be fun. I think
Would
that
it
would
be
be.
more engaging?
Or here's an
Yeah.
idea. Here's an idea. No fucking datacrons. Because if there's no datacrons, we could still use our GLs and
Go away. They're
counter
not
stuff.
leaving.
No, I'm not saying it.
I
Well,
think
I do
I
want to
think that would make it more stale because it would be back to the way it was before, where you're using the exact same counters every time.
But
Exactly.
it's boring when I hit it.
No,
Every
it's
year.
not.
Every
It's not.
hold on.
No.
Every territory war that me and Avant play, it's a wall. We just we get about halfway through one wall and we just quit.
But that's the thing. Swampgrass has a point. You have a wall against a certain team. If you have certain players that aren't setting certain datacrons that synergize well with that team, you can beat it. I think datacron should stay 100%.
The problem though is, like, let's say they change up the map, and instead of 50 you get 25 slots. Well, then someone's just gonna put 25 Javas in one slot and then 25 Javas in the next slot, so you're still gonna get 50 Javas on defense. I just feel like they have to, like, make it a way to be less. It feels monotonous and grindy where you're like, okay, we have to get through all these. Like, gather up everyone who has a counter for this and just wait. And it just seems like, I just feel like there's too much, like, oh, we have to beat 40 of these. It just doesn't, I don't know, it's not fun to me.
It's not. It's like you get a wall of 40 Javas, you get a wall of 40 Star Killers, you get a wall of 40 Revas, and you're like, all right, here we go. What guild has the better alignment of rosters? Because if they have it, we're done. We're not going to win.
Right.
One thing let's say they don't even change anything, but to make some quality of life fixes, just for the territory war to remember, for the most part, your defenses. Well, here's another thing: make it required. Don't even have a join period. If you're in the guild, all 50 people are there. You know, it might fuck you over if people don't set their defenses, but either way, make them be in it, and then remember everyone's defenses from the time before, so that you don't have to keep it. And if you could, and correct me if I'm wrong, Swamp, but I think Marvel Strike Force does this, right? You don't ever have to change your defenses, and can't the guild leaders move your team, your like sectors around, or do you have to do that yourself?
Yeah, they can move where you are on the map, but they can't change your actual like positioning of your teams or whatever. But yeah, I think in MSF they do have a little bit nicer system where each person gets their own room. You fill your room, and then when you're going against an opponent, you could say like, "Oh, hey, Swampgrass, take out this room." You know what I mean? I think that system does feel a little bit more
Now,
fun.
when you're attacking, everyone can attack the same room if they want. But when you're setting a defense, you get to set like, what is it, 10?
Your whole room, 10, yeah.
10 defenses, so 10 squads. So I think it could be scrapped, guys. I mean, I think they could fucking scrap it and just have a new way. I don't know. I'm not the idea guy, or I'd work there. But I don't know. Swamp, do you have any other ideas besides what we've said?
So I have a bit of a hot take. I don't think that the rewards are bad. I think the reason that perspective is there is because we've gotten so many of the rewards from TW that now we have an abundance and it seems less valuable.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, for my alt account who's not competing at a level where we're getting droid brains, I can tell you it's a very expensive thing to buy with crystals, like very expensive. And that's my only option for that account. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is great rewards. It's just the perspective because we have so much of them now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a point that they're either going to expand the board because of the depth of roster of a lot of players, or they're they're going to have to do something fundamentally different. I don't know what. Um, make zones specific for different team. Like I don't know which from a marketing standpoint, like let's say your first Northern Zone, all that's allowed is Galactic Republic Jedi. Well, a lot of people don't have a lot of that farmed up. That's a great fucking marketing tool for CG to go, hey, we're now going to put the screws to you. You want to win at TW? Well, this sector, you better work on your Galactic Republic Jedi. Or work on your Jawas. Or work on your Ewoks. Only Ewoks are allowed in this sector. And you're only allowed to fight against it with this.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty cool idea. That is very similar to what they do with the Cosmic Crucible in Marvel Strike Force that I was talking about. Is kind of like the Grand Arena game mode.
Yeah.
Each node has its own specific bonuses, and so in that game, it's more like you know how Omicron's kind of like it makes it so this team's good for territory wars more
Yeah.
so than GAC
Yep.
and stuff like that. So
Yep.
in MSF, it's been like that, like very heavily since the beginning. So like a new team comes out, it's a war team. You're only using it in war, essentially. So one thing they do in the Crucible is they have a node where it's like, okay, your raid bonuses are active here, so you can bring your raid characters in that node and then get a lot of value there. So they could do something like that too, where it's like, oh, here's a wall where your GAC Omicrons are active or something like that.
That's a cool idea. And they change every few months, correct? In the Crucible.
Yeah, to keep it fresh, right?
And that's kind of I see what we're talking about right this second. I think that's probably where they would go most likely with it because look at all the other modes, guys. It's the temporary shit. You build up these characters temporarily over 4 or 5 months, 3 or 4 months, and then they switch it up on you and make you go for something else.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's where they'll probably go for.
Yeah, they do love that having the ability to do that, like be like, hey, you guys have to get Inquisitors. So yeah, I could definitely see them liking that idea.
Crafting Way in the chat says 3v3 TW. Just piss everyone off.
No, put that hate on me, Rick Robbie.
But it's a change. It changes it at least.
No,
I'm
no,
mad.
I do have a
no.
I do have a cool idea to that effect. You know how we were talking about like each person having their own room? You could do a thing where it's like each person has their own room, but that room is like you have one team that's 1v1. You have one team that's 2v2, one team that's 3v3, one team that's 4v4, and one team that's 5v5. Each person only gets to set one, and that's it.
That'd be cool. You know they won't do it. But
Like
I
it'd
would
be
down.
fun, right? It'd be something totally different that I think would get people
You know
thinking
what?
about like
Ray
who
Rob-
is the best 1v1 character or whatever.
Yeah, they used to do that. The content creators when they had a
Yeah, the
test
test
program.
server.
Yep. They used to
Cubs
do
would do the 1v1 tournaments.
Yep.
Those were
fun.
awesome.
They were pretty fun, yeah.
So Ray Rock just
Yeah.
blew my mind. He just blew it out of the water. 6v6.
6v6. Phoenix, let's go.
I saw Logan's face on that. I mean,
Next.
I've never once thought about anything above 5v5 though, which is weird.
Next.
Actually, there's this other Hero Collector game I play that has this mode called the Tide, where essentially you line up your whole roster on this wall, and then it just sends these massive waves of enemies. And at one point, I was kind of thinking about what that would look like for Swigga, and that would be actually kind of cool.
That would be pretty epic.
I mean, what's to say they can't add a new mode like that? That would be fun. But every time they do, you know what happens? It's fun, and then they're like, we're gonna fucking scrape this to where you're barely getting by with it. Like Galactic Challenges fucking suck right now. Like, ugh, I'm tired of these Galactic Challenges.
Just get your 2 Omicrons and call it a day, bro.
I can't even beat it sometimes. Sometimes I can't even beat it.
You have to look at your roster and do what you can do and what feats need to be done and just try to get to. That's all I do.
30 minutes later, I'm asking you guys in Discord, I'm using your guys' team, and I'm still not doing it.
Unless it's fucking obvious where they go, well, this is done with rebels or Jedi. It's like, all right, we've
so
got
obvious
that.
because guess what? I'll use that exact team. I'll have a great team built up for it, and I'll get fucking smoked. And I'll have a later team. Like that's, I don't have R9 everything. That's what
just watch Bit Dynasty's videos.
Because Galactic Challenges aren't what they used to be. Before I could do that. The last 2 or 3 months, they've made it to JML. JML was in one. That's the first time I'd ever seen a Galactic Challenge with a Galactic Legend. They're trying to fucking piss me off. Anyways, just a rant over. Is there anything else?
Okay, I'll go to the next question.
All right.
Thank you.
Bodhi says, with only 4 characters required, 3 of them new marquees for the Bo-Katan Mandalore event, doesn't really seem all that epic. We've been arguing over whether it should be renamed a not-so-epic confrontation or a meh disagreement. So what is your choice of name?
Anything with meh in it sounds pretty.
I want to call it Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I love it. There we go.
Mandalorian.
I'm not that creative. I'm going to go with not-so-epic confrontation.
Yeah.
Well, after hearing Logan, I have to say
I kind of lean towards that, except for I would maybe call it instead of not so, just non-epic confrontation. More a little simplified.
There you go, man. I like all those.
Meh DeLorean.
Not so meh DeLorean confrontation.
Next question is from Jar Jar McGoats. If you could give a different move to any toon, who would it be, and what move would you give?
Oh,
I thought about this question a lot.
I have no idea.
My move would be to Darth Sidious. And if he's facing any Jedi, he can instantly defeat them. And the ability would be called It's Treason then. And then he spirals through the air and just kills the Jedi.
With that weird scream, like, wah! He rolls and does his thing.
I love that fight scene because it's so cringy bad how he just kills everyone and they don't even fight him. And he
he just stabs everybody and then it's over. Yeah.
Corkscrew spirals through the air and kills all the Jedi.
Yep.
What about you guys? Any abilities you would like to add to a character?
I don't even know what abilities the characters have as it is. I have no comment on this one. I'm sorry, guys. I know.
Yeah, I got one. I want Darth Sidious to have that that AoE that he does in that event that everybody hates. I want that to be in game in GAC and everything else, but I want it to be on a cooldown of 8.
So you just want to kill everyone with the first turn?
No, I want Darth Sidious to just be better.
I'm sorry. His bitch ass should have died. Every time I watch Return of the third one, Revenge of the Sith, every time I watch it, I'm like, how is he doing this? 4 Jedi walk in at the end when Mace and him fight. He just walks up and stabs 3 of them. He goes around Mace, stabs 3 of them. No one's doing anything to him. Like that, he should have died. And then I get lore wise, he has to live, but he didn't do anything in Revenge of the Sith to deserve to be a good tune. The silence.
But in
making me feel really bad right now.
Well, in the Clone Wars, I thought he was super badass. Especially when he kills Savage and smashes Maul and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. General Grievous was a badass in the cartoons. And then you get to the movie and he dies from getting shot in the chest. That was a terrible
So uncivilized.
Yeah. There you go. I said shit.
So
he got taken out from the low ground there.
He got another one. He got another one in. That's outstanding.
Okay. Next question. E-Ray Crafting Way says, do you carve, paint, or decorate pumpkins for Halloween? If so,
Here you go,
share with us
Logan.
what you've made this year.
Well, I am a it's been well known. I am a Halloween fanatic. I go overboard with decorating my place. I have an entire graveyard out front with a like 7 foot tall Grim Reaper and strobe lights and animatronics and shit everywhere. It's what I do. Um, the missus and I will actually be carving pumpkins on Friday. I carve, I don't draw. I have all the tools to do very intricate cutting, and I generally do a design out of a book. I buy 2 pumpkins. I want to. I carve one that is from a cool design that I like out of a book, but I also do a very scary, like Sleepy Hollow kind of scary face pumpkin. So the missus and I have 4 pumpkins to carve on Friday, and then we will have those set up. And yeah, I tested my industrial sized fog machine today and made sure that I'm all good for Tuesday. I'll be having Fluffy. Where are you, buddy? Oh, hold on. There he is. I'll be having him out to greet the children for candy, right? Oh yeah, yeah, we'll be doing that. So yeah, I carve pumpkins. I love Halloween. I love scary. I've been a horror movie fan my entire life. I've actually met Robert England, who played Freddy Krueger. I've spoken with the man. I've had a conversation with him. I have his autograph.
He haunts his dreams at night.
He signed my prop replica Freddy glove that I own. So yeah, no, you carve pumpkins. You don't draw shit on them. That's fucking no. That's ridiculous. You carve. You be creative. God damn it.
We don't really do much we just kind of watch scary movies and eat candy at the house. I don't really take my kids out to do anything. I'm lame.
Wait a minute. You don't take your kids out?
Trick or treating? No. We just hang out and eat candy in the house.
Okay.
We're not into it. Like, I don't want to be like a stickler, but I'm looking around like, why is everyone making such a big deal about it? It's cool. You can hang. It's just, I guess, not down our road, I guess. I don't have anything against it. Like I said, we still watch scary movies and do Halloween stuff. We just don't decorate. I'll probably get some pumpkins for the kids. They like to carve and stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. We just don't go all out like a lot of people do.
Okay. Avant, what do you do?
I usually do like a traditional jack-o'-lantern, and then my kids like to paint on pumpkins, but they're pretty young. They're 2 and 5, so I'm not giving them any knives.
Okay, I was
Not yet.
2 years old with a knife. It's time they get a knife in their hand. And it's never
That doesn't make it right.
It's never too early. Look at me now. Look how I turned out.
All right. I feel like there's a big difference between us saying give a kid a knife and you handing the kid the knife from Rambo. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of a difference. All right, next question. Jesus Christ.
Oh, hold on. I was
Wait,
gonna
Swamp.
get it on this.
Oh, Swamp.
So-
No, please, what do you do?
So I'm a single guy, no kids or nothing, so I don't like every year do something like that. But every now and then I do. I like to, do like a really nice pumpkin. So my two favorite ones that I did that worked out really well. One of them I'll throw in the Discord because I do have a picture of it from a couple years back. Was the Boba Fett helmet. So that looked really nice.
Yeah,
And,
post a pic. I want to see that. Are you gonna do one this year?
And then my other really cool one, you know the show Gargoyles? Like cartoon from the 90s?
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah. Yeah, like the main character Goliath, I want to say his name is. Him, like with the moon behind him and stuff. It was really cool.
That's bad.
Nice.
So those are my 2 coolest ones. But I just posted the Boba Fett one. It's the pumpkin on the left there. I put it in the comments and questions channel.
They're making a live action show about that now, or movie or something. I saw.
Oh, really? Gargoyles?
Yeah, so I don't know what that's going to be like, but it was announced that they're going to make one. Yep, someone just said that in chat too. Yeah, that's cool, man. So you like? I haven't looked at it, but are you going to do one this year? A pumpkin this year?
I'm not sure. So the thing is, for me, it's usually like my friends with kids will be like, "Hey, want to come carve pumpkins?" And then I'll get stoked. So nobody's really said anything yet, and I mean Halloween's pretty soon, so maybe not, but we'll see.
Okay.
Mm. Well, I posted a picture just now on our Discord in general chat of what the front of my place looks like, and there will be 4 or 5 very well carved pumpkins out there on the front. My industrial sized fog machine is set, ready to go. I've got Fluffy the Crate Beast that will be making an appearance to scare the shit out of little children that night, out of the fog of the cemetery. So I am ready to go. I cannot wait. I fucking love Halloween. I grew up on Freddy Krueger and scary movies and gore and nonsense, which is why I am as fucking unstable as I am. And I love my parents. I don't hear the voices nearly as much as I used to. So next fucking question.
Let's rapid fire this one. This one's
Yeah.
from Bodie. Get rid of one game mode and choose a new one to add in. What is your choice?
Conquest.
All right.
What would you add?
New one to add. The Tide.
No, I did. I wanted to hear from you, Swampgrass. What with like Conquest? Really?
Yeah. Well, the problem is, I think at first it was a good game mode, and then they put good rewards in it, which was the worst thing they could have done. Because now people see it as a farming resource, and now you have to grind it, and it's just a chore, and it's annoying instead of a fun game mode.
Yeah.
Scrap
what
it.
about what would you add? This is kind of
So
more broad
before I was
question.
talking about a game mode called the Tide in a different game where it's not really your whole roster, but it's a large amount of your characters, and they just auto, like, it's not, you're not controlling it and strategizing. You just, like, for instance, if it was Swiga, it would be like, okay, I have a really big Galactic Republic. I'm gonna put all my Galactic Republic on the wall, and then the Tide waves of enemies come against it. I think something like that would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Put the conquest rewards in that.
Logan, what about you?
Honestly, I think arena. Like the typical arena that nobody really pays attention to. What is its use? Other than currency to buy some shards or that one currency for ships. What is the point of arena? Like really,
Right.
what there is no logical reason to have that mode in the game. I honestly think they should bring maybe not as much as they had before, but bring some sort of crystal income back to it. Something.
All right. What are you going to add in?
Um
And if you don't have an answer, that's okay.
You know what? I know people have said this. I know it's not going to happen. I feel like there should be some sort of a sandbox mode.
Yeah, that's my answer. I want an inter guild sandbox mode. Like I want to test within my guild teams and strategies.
Yeah.
I don't even think that really needs to be a game mode. There's so many other games out there that I've played where you literally just look at your guild, click on one of your guild mates, and then you can fight them just like that.
Yeah.
Also,
it's not even it's really
also
easy.
Swamp, didn't they make it to where you can like test against in war in Marvel Strike Force?
Yeah, Marvel Strike Force, you can go when it's a war defense. Anytime so in MSF, there's 5 wars a week, I want to say. So it's a lot. Or 3 wars a week. It's going pretty much all the time. But whenever it's in between rounds, it's defense setting time. You can go in there, look at your alliance, fight anybody's team, anybody's team on anywhere in the defense there.
So yeah, it doesn't even need to be a mode. It can just be a feature.
Well,
It's not tough.
It's like if CG did something like, here's a new mode where if people wanted to test out Omicrons, Datacrons, whatever, I don't even care if they like. Obviously, I wouldn't care. I'm sure some people would, but even if they charge like $10, like $5-10 a month,
You have
here's
to
a
buy the
mode-
Conquest Plus pass to get in.
Yeah, you gotta. Here,
start
here's
buying
your
it.
pass.
I would
Here's your
start-
pass to test some shit. I mean, and again, it goes back to our first topic. If CG really wants the full community testing shit, then give us a mode where we can actually test shit.
Especially 3v3.
Yeah.
But the idea,
No. Swampgrass is right, because 3v3 is a different animal when it comes to, like, when this new Bo-Katan comes out, it is going to work far different than it does in 5v5 than it does in 3v3. And I feel like players who invest the money to get this shit unlocked should have an opportunity to get a really good look of what they're investing in. Like, I'm sorry, whenever somebody goes and buys a new car, you get to test drive that motherfucker. Why can't we do that here?
there's this idea that if they did that, they'd lose money. Like, I don't get where that's losing money. That's the stupid.
How-
Yeah, it doesn't make
No.
sense.
How are they losing money?
We're still gonna
Yeah,
play
even
the game.
No, because the highest content creators are spending the money testing it for us. How are they losing money? Because while that mode may be available, Arnold, all these other bigwig, they're going to do that out of the gate anyway, because that's what people expect, because that's what they pay their subscription for.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and also not to keep bringing up Marvel Strike Force, but they do a thing. Okay, so it's not all the time, but certain teams when they come out with them, they do have like a test thing where you just get to play with them and see how they play. It is in a PvE setting, so it's not really optimal, but at least you can kind of see how the kits work and what the stats look like and stuff like that.
I think this should always be compared to Marvel Strike Force, and I think they should look at Marvel Strike Force and bring some things into that. Marvel Strike Force, for the most part, is a way more fun game, and they almost do every single thing. It's different in ways, but it's more fun overall.
Here's one other game mode, real quick, that I've thought about before we move on to the next question. I want to know what you guys think.
I haven't got mine yet either, buddy.
I know. Let me throw this out there. So it's a very specific node in the game that you can go into, and it's not at a certain time. It's online. It's when other players are online. You go in, all you see is your opponent's roster and GP. You don't get to see their mods. You don't get to see any of that. And you have like a mini GAC battle of like 3 battles. Your roster against theirs. Now, in 3 battles, there's got to be a winner.
But I think it should be more than 3.
No, I think it should be 3, because it's going to be you're going to want it to be something that can be done quickly. But you get to wager either crystals or gear or whatever they dictate. You get to wager whether or not you think you're going to win blindly.
I have
And
seen
then-
something like that in another game.
If you win, you also win what your opponent wagered.
Mhm.
So they may have wagered crystals or gear or something else.
But what's keeping people from rigging that to where they want to give another account?
How do you rig that?
Because maybe
Actually, yeah, anytime there's transfer from one account to another, people will always find a way to take advantage of
'cause
it.
let's say I have
But,
two.
like, the least amount of shit.
Let's say I have two accounts and I just farm a bunch of resources from that account, fight myself, and send all that shit to my other account. I mean, and you can.
All right, then let's say the wagering is only on crystals.
Still,
Yeah,
save up crystals
still,
and
people
just-
are gonna use it to generate free crystals. They'll just have an account that's like, I don't know, say just automatically doing some kind of, I don't even know. There is always going to be some kind of way to hack it whenever there's a transfer of resources from one account to the other.
I do love the idea. I do love that idea, but there's those assholes that will make it where they don't.
Yeah, it would be ruined by
But
people cheating.
if you guys ever played Star Wars Force Arena, there was a similar wager type thing, but it was with spectating, where you watch two other people fight and you wager who you think will win. So it could be
Gambling.
something like that. Yeah, it's gambling. But that was kind of fun.
Okay, well, I think Conquest should go because I fucking hate it. There's too much grinding, too much time, too much bullshit tied behind it. Then you got Proving Grounds that spawn from it. It's just a fucking cesspool of content. And then I would add, once again, only Swamp knows what I'm talking about, but a Dark Dimension mode, just like Marvel Strike Force has. It's a blast. It gives everyone a reason to take everyone to the highest gear. But how it works in Marvel Strike Force is whatever the highest gear is at the moment, they release a Dark Dimension for it. And in order to enter Dark Dimension, you have to have whatever characters you want to bring into there to the highest tiers of whatever that is at the current time in the game. That's how you enter it. So it's more for in-game people, but it gives other mid-gamers a reason to grind and work towards that. It's great in-game content. It's PvE. So you can overcome it eventually, and it gets easier as time and things get easier to acquire. But
I don't think you're ever getting rid of Conquest.
Okay, we know that they're never going to get anything that you said either.
They should though.
But I wish they would.
Screwed up.
But anyways, I'm not done with what I was saying.
think they screwed up.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. But
All good.
But what it does is it's really hard. The PvE content is super hard, even with the highest gear. And you might go against per node, you'll have like 50 people, and you may only get 3 or 4 people killed per day, and then you refresh. You can also pay to re-heal your characters and keep going. But at the end of it, the rewards are insane. They're just absolutely crazy. And maybe doing that, you might be able to R9 10 people or something. But it's going to take you 4 or 5 months to get through it. But also, what they do is they usually, not every one of them, but they usually put a character that is insanely good, that's plug and play, that you can put anywhere, and it stays relevant throughout the entirety of the game. But it's worth the grind. And I just think that would be really fun. And it gives you a reason to take people up to the highest tier of gears or relics. That's my
I never thought about that, but Dark Dimension would be really awesome in Suga for sure. I would be down with that. It's just like a very difficult PvE mode with it. Like they just have sliders and they put the stats up to like crazy amounts. So like instead of IG-11 having like 1 million health, he'll have like 100 million health, and it might take you 10 days to knock him down.
And if you get in the bad loop, you got to think of like when you start dying off to start doing basics, so you have some abilities in the next day. And if you don't do it time right, you might be fucked for another day. So it's fun though. It doesn't sound fun, but it's very fun.
It is fun.
It's one of my all-time favorite modes of any hero collector.
Yeah, and it definitely does. Like the anticipation of the grind leading up to it is really fun, I find.
All right, Yvonne, what else we got? We have quite a few questions still.
We do.
Let's fire at these by the hip.
Sardaukar asks, to answer the episode question, anyone saying Bruce Campbell would be wrong. If Bruce Campbell had a character in Star Wars, would he be light side?
Didn't you skip a question? It had something to do with Evil Dead. Oh, okay.
He's on that right now.
If Bruce Campbell had a character in Star Wars, would he be light side, dark side, or neutral? 100% scoundrel tag, or any other options could he fall under?
he'd be a light side scoundrel, and his ultimate ability would be, "Give me some sugar, baby." Like that would be it. Like, and his unique would be groovy.
I can't top
Fucking
that. So what he said.
I would love to see like a lightsaber chainsaw arm. That would be pretty cool.
Right? It's fucking Bruce Campbell. That's Bruce Campbell.
The next question is maybe my favorite question of the week. I actually shared this in my friend group chat. This one's from Swampgrass. If you had to choose between eating tacos for every meal or being fit, skinny, and healthy for the rest of your life, would you pick soft shelled or hard shelled?
Soft shell all day, buddy.
I think I would have to pick hard shell. I love that crunch in a taco. There's just nothing better than that crunch. It's just
Then wrap a soft taco around the hard taco.
Bob, shut up.
No.
I want that crunch. No,
I'm picking soft shell so I can alternate between flour and corn tortilla just to mix it up.
I obviously don't give a flying fuck about my health, so I'm going with crunch. Swamp, what about you?
Soft.
Well,
I'm all about the soft tortilla.
Soft.
I'm the odd man out. All right.
Okay, next question, Jar Jar McGoats. If you could spend a day with any Star Wars character, alive, dead, canon, non-canon, and if DS wouldn't immediately kill you, if they were dark side, they wouldn't immediately kill you, who would it be and why? Logan, hold your thoughts.
This isn't the question I was waiting for.
Okay, but still hold your thoughts.
No.
Bones, who would you spend a day with?
I don't know. Someone fun. Who's fun in Star Wars?
Are you serious?
Probably somewhere like in Jabba's palace. That seems like a cool place to hang out, to party and stuff. I don't really have a good answer to that, to be honest. I don't know.
I'd want to hang out with Qui-Gon Jinn. I want to learn some shit. I want to learn some shit. I want to know some shit. And Liam Neeson knows some shit.
He will kill you.
Yeah.
He will find you. And
he will find you. He will track you down. He will find you. I don't have any money, but what I do have is a very set of important skills. If you do not let the girl go, I will hunt you down, I will find you, and I will kill you. And that is Liam Neeson by Kermit the Frog.
Very nice. Very well done.
What about you, Swamp?
For me, the answer is super easy. The mods. We'd be cruising around on those Vespas. Oh yeah, good times. Get out of
here. At 2 miles an hour. Doing
for me, oh yeah, Bones. I'd be going for the bright orange and blue Vespa. Broncos on the side. Let's go.
Get out of here, bud. Get out of here.
I like it.
And I'm gonna be Patrick Mahomes sitting on my Rancor.
Oh shit! No, next question. Fucking cheat. Next question.
Man, I don't even know what my answer would be, to be honest. I feel like Balin Skull's pretty sweet. I feel like I want to hang out with him.
And figure out what the fuck he's doing on the end. Like, where are we going, man? You're supposed to explain this. You're just sitting on a cliff. Where are we going? And just cuts.
He's going.
It's not just a cliff, though. It is a statue of something from Star Wars that you possibly should recognize.
Well, I know what
That's
it
true.
is, but
okay.
I thought they were going to.
Logan doesn't. Logan doesn't.
By the way, I just realized something. I never did plug the other podcast that I do. The podcast that. Oh yeah, I talked about. Yeah. Never mind.
You can plug it again, man. Fuck it. You guys hit the button, and while you're hitting the button, check out Swamp's other podcast, which is
the Shadow Collective, a Star Wars podcast. It's not about Swigga. It's about Star Wars, all Star Wars news, all the new shows, all that kind of stuff. Big spoiler alerts. We dive deep into the episodes, all that kind of stuff. If you like Star Wars, come check it out. I think we're aiming at every second Saturday, but life it doesn't always work out that way. But
Yeah.
um, but for the most part, we're every second Saturday doing a Star Wars podcast.
And that's on Twitch.
We are on Twitch. We are on Twitch as well as after the podcast has aired, we throw it on YouTube. We have a Twitter and a Discord. Do you mind if I throw links in the chat?
Go for
Go
it, my
ahead.
friend.
No, Swamp, put whatever you want in the chat.
We're
Please do.
We're here to help promote
Yeah.
you as much as we can.
The next
try to
part
find-
of Magotz's question is for basically Logan. Describe the pain if you were locked in an Imperial cell with Jar Jar as your only companion.
All right. So I read this question, and I did give it some thought.
It's
I
been
will
haunting him all week.
Someone give him some nitroglycerin.
I will admit, when I first read it, I kind of went, motherfucker, but here we go. So I had some thought. So let's look at the situation that we're in. So he said an Imperial cell. So that means I done fucked up. It means I did something incredibly stupid, and I'm probably going to be looking at a life of hard labor or maybe execution. So I'm sitting in my cell, and I've got this thing, this annoying sounding, treacherous, goofy, useless thing next to me. So I'm going to take my bed sheet and I'm going to roll it into a very fine kind of rope. And I'm going to wait until that useless fucking alien happens to doze. And I'm going to very gingerly probably put it around his throat and yank on it around some sort of pipe or something. You know, because in Star Wars, there's pipes and,
We're gonna get banned from Twitch for this.
This is getting a little graphic.
And I'm gonna hang him. I'm gonna hang him until he's gone. And you know what? Not only will I have done the entire Star Wars universe a favor, but according to Bob, I would have destroyed one of the High Lords of the Sith. So I did
his
the
clone.
So
I think at some point Jar Jar accidentally hangs himself and he survived it. So yeah.
Yeah, he slips
Pretty
right.
tough.
He can
He's a
slip
pretty
through
tough
that.
little dude.
He's a slippery little fellow. There's no killing him.
This show went dark. This show went really dark, really fast.
He hates him.
That floppy-eared
Nerf herder.
fuck will not be in this game. I've already made my pledge. He comes to this game, I will be free to play. CG will lose money. I will write my congressman. I will do whatever I have to do.
Why does
But I will not tolerate that thing in my game. Won't happen.
Why
Not gonna happen. It can't happen. Not doing it.
All right, I'm gonna do one more question, and then I'm gonna save some of them for next week, just because we are going on and on.
We are going way late.
Yeah, we're
yes.
way over, fellas. Sorry we couldn't get
Okay. Follow up to Swampgrass's question from early archaic. Cilantro, is it awesome? Yes or no?
It's there. It does stuff.
It's delicious. It's awesome.
It depends on what you're making. It really depends. Depends
There's actually a stat about people that like cilantro, and it's as close to 50-50 as you can get of people loving it and hating it. So it's like it's kind of the pinnacle of a love-hate relationship, or some love it, some hate it.
There are people that cilantro tastes like soap to them.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. My ex used to say that.
I don't mind it. Alex puts it on stuff. I eat it. I don't need it or anything, but I have no
I
problem.
think it depends on people's palate, really. It's like there's really no other explanation than that. It depends on the person's palate whether they like it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Like I would say, like people that grew up in regions where that's part of their, their culinary cuisine, they probably just are, adjusted to it, and they just think of it as anything else, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Cilantro. That's how we're gonna end it here. It's on
Was,
cilantro.
I'll pick up some of the questions that I missed next week. So
I mean, there was
if we didn't get to them,
amount.
we'll get to them next week.
That's the most questions
We will
we've
do
ever
that.
gotten. So,
Can I mention one small quick thing that
Sure.
say
that's
your
from
thing.
that's from Marvel Strike Force that I would love to see in Swigga, going back to one of the old questions, but this one's real quick. A quit button that works when you press it instead of playing 4 or 5 animations and then you lose. That would be awesome. Like in MSF, you press that quit button. In certain game modes, it'll even give you options. Do you want to sacrifice your team or do you want to keep it? If you sacrifice your team, then the damage would stay. If you retreat, then you get to get your team back. Either way, it could be mid animation, doesn't matter. You press quit, you're out of there.
That's a great idea, and I was just talking about it on the stream the other day. That's one of the best quality of lives they could bring to the game right now. Is that simple little thing? Because then that eliminates the where you have to turn it on
The airplane mode.
bullshit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do that in a game. That should not be a thing.
Yeah. That's how you know a game's not working properly.
Yep, I agree. It's out of date as shit. But what do you do? That's why we're here to bitch at you, CG. Give you some
They're
ideas.
definitely listening.
All right, boys.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. CG,
Yeah,
listen to
exact-
this
the
fucking
exact.
show. Yeah, 100%.
I think they
Yep.
are, because every time I talk about it, it happens.
Bob, you are completely full of shit.
It's happening.
Throw that out there.
I want
Just-
someone to take record of everything I say every week, and
No,
go through
just
it.
gonna throw it out. You're full of shit. No.
Remember my prediction. I'm gonna die.
Reposts.
Listen. Don't listen to these dumbasses on here. Come to my channel, Bones88. Just don't waste your time over here. I don't even know why I hang out with these guys. I'm the reason they know as much as they do. I help
Yo,
them do everything.
please, by all means, go to Bones88 channel. He will give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to put aluminum foil on your head.
And how to fuck up the easiest counters that there is. That have been
That'll
around
be
for
it.
4 years.
And that being said, folks, it is way late. We've run late. I want to thank our guest, Swampgrass. Dude, thank you so much for taking your evening to hang out with us.
Yeah.
We hope you had a good time. We want to have you on again at some point. From Old Man Logan 76 and all of us at the Scoundrels Cantina, I'm out, man. I got nothing else to say. I will leave it to the rest of our hosts and our guests. Everyone say goodnight.
Before we go, we're going to raid, so no one leave. We're going to say goodbye for the podcast and then stay around. We're going to raid. But,
I'm just a crazy old space wizard. I'm tired, and I'm gonna go to bed.
But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. Love you all dearly. This is my highlight of my week every week, and I can't thank you all enough.
All Fluffy knows. It's the highlight of your week.
You guys say goodnight to Fluffy. Once again, Swamp, I'm glad I finally got you on here, brother. You're always welcome to come back. And all
Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, and please, if you go out on Halloween, be safe, dress warm, do what you got to do, but most important, please be safe.
And if you're
Look
making
at
thank you guys for having me on. I had a blast, and for the Halloween character question, I would get rid of Pinhead. By the way,
Pinhead.
Oh,
not a big
shit.
fan.
No, we did. You know what? Let's answer that real quick.
Oh, God.
Swamp Pinhead. Avon, what do you got? Who's leaving?
I don't even remember the question. Next question, please.
Horror icons: Freddy, Jason, Michael, Pinhead, Chucky.
And what am I doing?
You're getting
You
rid
gotta
of
get
Getting rid of one.
Is this a marry, fuck, kill question?
No.
Just get rid of one.
Get rid of Jason.
I would bang the
Was
shit
that-
out of Chucky.
Wait a minute. What?
I don't know. He said like fuck, marry, or kill question.
Warren, you don't stick your dick in it. What is the matter with you?
It's just a doll. It's not
Oh,
hurting anything.
man.
People to go to
And we
your
are
channel?
completely off the rails.
So real quick,
We should just raid someone.
here's something real quick that all of those people are overrated. I don't care. So all of them.
Would get rid of Chucky. That's mine.
Thanks a lot, Swamp. You derailed everything.
Chucky did give me a lot of nightmares growing up.
You have done this yourself, Anakin.
Swamp, thank you, brother. We're gonna have you on again. Hopefully you
Sounds good.
you come back into this madness. Appreciate it.
All right.
My God,
Who are we?
Bob, go raid somebody.
Who are we raiding, everybody? If we don't find anyone, it's always Urs. He's the go-to. So
Well,
Jeez,
Urs,
that.
man.
My vote is for Night War.
okay, that's fine with me.
All right,
Alright.
Night War. All right.
I love to show the little guys love. So
No, if absolutely.
who is GAC Lab? I've never heard of that.
No,
Oh,
that's
that's,
GAC Lab.
GAC.
Yeah.
GAC. GAC.
Yeah, that's oh shoot. I know the guys. I've met the guys, but I can't think of the names. Oh
No,
man.
I'm in the same guild with them. Death Star Port Designers.
Excuse
I'm in the guild with those guys. They do their show the same time.
Yeah, Go Cubs. That's one of them.
Yep, go Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, we are in the rating at the moment. So let's finally say goodbye. Swamp, love you, brother. Thank you for coming by. My fellow
Thanks, Swamp.
co-host, Avant, Old Man Logan, love you guys. Have a safe Halloween.
Same to you guys.
Do all that. We're gonna get out before someone else says something. So love you all in the chat.
Good night.
See you guys next time. Peace.
See you.